on a gorgeous summer night here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Brewers getting ready to welcome in the Minnesota Twins for a 3-game interleague series, kicking off the border battle after the Brewers won 2 out of 3 at Target Field. And the Brewers are ready to be back at Miller Park, a place that they have had a lot of success here recently. They've gone 22-11 in their last 33 games. That's the second best record in the National League at home in that time. And the Minnesota Twins are trying to reverse their road fortunes. It was a tough weekend for them at the friendly confines. In their last 3 games, they were swept by the Cubs. And a tough night for them as well, allowed 35 runs and 46 hits. So it'll be an interesting matchup here between the Brewers and the Twins. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Miller Park. And the Brewers made another roster move, but they've called up a special player in the organization. Nate Orf will be the 45th player used by the Brewers this season. But for him, it's a special day because it is his major league debut. A great story for Nate Orf. He was selected from AAA Colorado Springs today. Aaron Wilkerson, who pitched 3 innings in Cincinnati yesterday, optioned to AAA Colorado Springs. But for Nate Orf, this major league debut has been a long time coming. He was undrafted out of Baylor, signed with the organization in 2013, has appeared in more than 600 minor league games for Milwaukee, has spent 2+ years in AAA with the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. Tonight, he is in the starting lineup for his major league debut and starting at second base. So here's what he had to say on finally getting that long-awaited call to the big leagues.
You know, it's the day that you put all the work in for, and it's why I signed for $500. It's why I signed for $500. You know, to grind out as long as I needed to have this day come. So to see it come into fruition is what it was all about the whole time.
Well, for Nate Orf, he's finally getting his long-awaited opportunities in the big leagues. And as we go up to Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder, fans have been waiting to see him make his major league debut for a long time as well. He's got social media traction, hashtag free Nate Orf. He's been freed. He's finally here. He's made it here to the big leagues. And make no mistake about it, he's earned his way here with how he's produced in AAA, more than a 300 average for him. The on-base percentage over 400 as well. He's been an impressive hitter in the minor leagues for the Brewers.
He really has, Sophia. And what's fun to think about with Nate Orf is every year we get to see him in spring training. And it's not often that minor league players or non-roster invitees get their own chant, but every time Orf comes to the plate, Orf, 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 Orf. And he's here. And to be able to get to this level, Rock, without being drafted, to have to sign after the entire draft and all of those players are picked, I mean, this is an incredible achievement by this guy.
Yeah, what a good feel-good story right here for the Brewers. I mean, everybody to a man, even in Colorado Springs, here with the Brewers in the clubhouse, everybody very happy that Nate Orf finally getting his opportunity. A .289 hitter career in the minor leagues. When you watch him, and we saw a lot of him in spring training, but when you watch him, not one thing really pops out. He's just a good baseball player. He's got a good baseball IQ. He doesn't make too many mistakes. He's a heads-up kind of guy. He plays second base most of the time in AAA this year. Shortstop, outfield. Craig Counsell is just trying to get some production out of that second base spot. Well, Nate Orf's going to get a chance here tonight.
Well, last night he was in Round Rock, Texas. Tonight he's in Milwaukee. And on the mound is another success story. Brent Suter, the Brewers' best winner, will get the ball when we continue. Twins. He took a loss against Brent Suter and the Brewers on May 18th, the last time these two teams hooked up at Target Field. Suter and Gibson, it's the Brewers and the Twins, interleague rivals. And it's coming your way next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. We've got the lineups in the first pitch coming up. Park, Milwaukee, Brent Suter, the left-hander on the mound tonight. Great to have you with us, folks. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minard. Tonight's game being produced by Brent Reeland, directed by Renardo Lowe. Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer and the former great Milwaukee Brewer, managing the Minnesota Twins, year number 4. He and Craig Counsell took over the same year. And, of course, Molitor, one of the mentors of Craig Counsell as a kid. Molitor, the only Hall of Fame player that is currently managing in the major leagues. His Potawatomi batting order looks like this. He's got Joe Mauer back in the leadoff spot, Eddie Rosario, then Brian Dozier, Robbie Grossman, Jorge Polanco, Williams Astudillo, and then at the bottom it's Max Kepler, Bobby Wilson, and Kyle Gibson. Notably there, Jorge Polanco returning from an 80-game PED suspension tonight. Brent Suter on the mound for the Brew Crew. Start number 16 of the year, partner.
Yeah, got beat his last time out against Kansas City. 6 innings, 4 runs. He's won 6 of his last 8 decisions. He's been throwing the baseball extremely well, leading the Brewers in wins.
First pitch is strike 1 to Joe Mauer, and off we go at Miller Park on a picture-perfect night for the grand old game. What a time to be alive in Milwaukee, Wisconsin right now. Summerfest is in full gear just a few miles from here on the lakefront. Weather is perfect. It's been extremely hot in Milwaukee, but a little front blew through here yesterday, and it is ideal for baseball tonight. Mauer gets jammed, and a little ground ball to second base. Guess who gets the first chance for Milwaukee? Haven't even set up the defense yet. It's Nate Orf.
Couldn't have happened any better. You know, he wanted his first chance as soon as he could. Here's your Brewers defense tonight. You got Braun, Broxton, Thames in the outfield. Good to have Ryan Braun back in there, back-to-back days. You got Shaw, Brad Miller, Nate Orf getting a start at second base. He played a lot at second base down in AAA. Jesus Aguilar at first, and Manny Pena hanging the signs tonight.
What a moment this is for Nate Orf, as we chronicled in the open. Undrafted, makes it to the big leagues. In his major league debut today, and the first ground ball is right at him. Orf has been hitting so well throughout his minor league career, but this year with Colorado Springs. He was putting up gaudy numbers once again. We've seen him hit every spring training. Feel like he plays every day in spring training. Out of Baylor University, a Baylor Bear, signed for $500. Said he was offered $1,000. He responded by saying, "I'll play for a Snickers bar," and so the Brewers cut him in half, gave him $500. He's going to make it up here in the big leagues.
Well,
as long
he
as
looked
he's here.
before the game. He looked pretty calm, but you know that heart's been pounding. That first time up, he's going to be excited. Every player will never forget his first at bat.
A swing and a miss. Eddie Rosario is down on strikes. Out number 2. Suter picks up his first K.
Yeah, Suter, this is his third start against the Twins. He's 1-0. He's given up 4 runs in 9 2/3.
Here is Brian Dozier now. Twins are coming off a rough series against the Chicago Cubs. Matter of fact, they were in Chicago for 6 days. They started their road trip against the White Sox, played 3 games against the White Sox, lost 2 out of 3 there, and then got swept by the Cubs. And the Cubs scored double-digit run totals in each of the 3 games against Twins pitching over the weekend. So the Brewers are hoping the Twins are in a downturn. Milwaukee losing their 2 weekend games, splitting the series against the Cincinnati Reds. Paul Molitor's ball club is at 35-45 right now, and this is a team with very high expectations to start the season.
Yeah, a lot of guys really underperforming, including the guy at the plate right now. 12 homers, 33 RBIs for Brian Dozier. This guy can hit the ball as far as anybody. I mean, pound for pound, he's got terrific power. But they've had suspensions. They've had guys not performing and getting sent down.
Suter deals, and a called strike 3 rings the bell on the inside corner, and Brent Suter starts it with a bang tonight. 1-2-3 with back-to-back Ks. Monday night here in Brew City, and the Brewers coming to bat. Twins failed to score in the top of the first. They go in order. A couple of Ks by Suter. Here's the Potawatomi batting order for Milwaukee, turned in by Craig Counsell. He's got Brad Miller, Eric Thames, Jesus Aguilar at the top, Shaw, Braun, and Orf in the middle, with Pena, Broxton, and Suter rounding out the starting 9 against Kyle Gibson. Gibson's ERA is good. His win-loss total not so good. 2-6 record, an earned run average of 3.48, and a much different looking Brewers lineup than what you would expect when the year began. And on the first pitch, Brad Miller goes the opposite way. A clean single to left field. His last swing in this ballpark was a 3-run home run against the Royals.
Well, Gibson is in his 6th year with the Twins. He's lost 3 of his last 4, but you know, he's been throwing the baseball pretty well. He's been eating up innings for Paul Molitor. Last time out, lost to the White Sox. 7 innings, 5 runs. That was really his worst start in a while. Making career start number 12 against the Brewers. He's 6-2.
Eric Thames now takes strike 1. Thames has been going back and forth from the leadoff spot into the 2 spot on occasion. He's at 5th with Brad Miller in the lineup. He's got Miller leading off with Thames hitting 2nd. There's a shot past Mauer. A base hit. Turning and running to 3rd is Miller. He'll make it without a throw. And the Brewers are cooking early right now. 2 on, nobody out to start this game.
Yeah, Gibson likes to throw that 2-seamer, sinker. A lot of times when they come out of the bullpen, they don't have a lot of sinks. Remember, coming off a pretty rough start his last time out. And the fact that Mauer got a piece of this one, and 92 inside corner. And the fact that Mauer got a piece of it kind of slowed it down enough for Miller to be able to get to 3rd base. Yeah, good start for the crew.
1st and 3rd, nobody out. Back-to-back singles. And here comes Jesus Aguilar. Aguilar had the series of all series against the Minnesota Twins at Target Field. He had 4 home runs in 3 games there. Had 6 hits in the series. 4 of them left the park, and they were all monster home runs. He comes in batting .309, 19 home runs, 54 driven in. An OPS starting play today at .995. That's actually down. He was up over 1,000 with an OPS through most of that series against Cincinnati. Aguilar had the day off yesterday on a hot Sunday afternoon in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it seemed like he needed a day off. I mean, he's been playing an awful lot. It was really hot against the Reds, and hope he's going to come out strong here tonight.
Took it 0 for 4 on Saturday, and a wave and a miss. He chased a lot of breaking balls Saturday, and certainly the Twins have done their homework, and he waves and misses at another breaking ball.
Yeah, the Brewers were having a difficult time laying off this pitch right here against Cincinnati. That slider off the plate. Gibson throws a lot of those. They got to lay off.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Aguilar. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Aguilar mad at himself for chasing that pitch. He just turned 28 Saturday, and it feels like he's just bursting onto the scene, and he is at the major league level. Last year was his first full season in the big leagues. He was Craig Counsell's best pinch hitter last year and hit 16 homers. But this year's been a breakout campaign for him. Performing like an all-star, producing like an MVP candidate, actually. Slow roll to short. Polanco flips to the bag, out there, throw to first, not in time. A run will score. It'll be an RBI for Aguilar. The Brewers strike first here tonight.
Yep, able to chug down that line and trying to get that RBI. Able to do it. Now you figure the Twins are going to take a look at it. But he's always done well, particularly this year with 2 strikes. This time just putting the bat on that slider off the plate. And not hit hard enough to turn a double play on Jesus. So the Brewers strike first.
Paul Molitor, the Twins manager, says play on, no challenge. So an RBI for Aguilar, his 55th. That leads the club. And here is Travis Shaw now. Shaw on the first pitch, a little jam shot. Dozier goes to first, out there. Mauer's throw hits Aguilar. It's into left field. And Jesus on his way to third. Now he's going to try to score. Rosario's throw all the way in. Aguilar is out at the plate. The piano on the back. And Aguilar is cut down. Good aggressive base running. You don't mind that early. It was mishandled by Rosario in left. And the Brewers are going to take a look at this one.
He tried to barehand it. Not sure why. I'm not sure why you barehand that, but he did. But the throw, plenty of time. Bobby Wilson with the tag. Yep, got him.
Bobby Wilson, I'm sure, was bracing for a mighty collision with 300 pounds coming his way. Give that man some oxygen and some water. He does drive in a run. The inning is over, and the Brewers lead 1-0. Brewers lead it 1-0 as Brent Suter ready to go. His second inning of work, coming off a 3-up 3-down first inning with a couple of Ks. Robbie Grossman will start it for Minnesota, switch hitting right fielder. Hit leadoff yesterday against the Cubs with Mauer on the bench. Grossman, Polanco, and Astudillo. First three up for the Twins. Twins have a much different looking lineup as well. They finally got Polanco back. He's due next. Coming off an 80-game PED suspension. Not eligible for postseason is Polanco. But they have marked this day for a while. They're starting shortstop. Twins have had some injury issues aside from the suspension of Polanco. Their starting catcher Jason Castro is out for the year with a knee injury. Miguel Sano, hamstring injury, lack of performance. He is in a total reboot, very similar to Orlando Arcia.
Yeah.
Stripping down the mechanics offensively and trying to get him in better shape and back into a useful role in the major leagues. Talking about Miguel Sano. And their ace Urban Santana has been out as well. So they do have reasons for their 35-45 record. But Paul Molitor makes no excuses. And a team that should be playing better than they are, especially in the wide open AL Central.
Yep, 10 games under 500, 9 games behind Cleveland.
Three and two to Grossman. In the air to right. That's going to get down, a base hit. First hit of the game for the Twins.
Let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. Well, this is a rematch. Gibson and Suter. Gibson got hit around a little bit. 5 runs, 5 innings. Suter was very good. 5 2/3, 1 run. Suter's been throwing a lot of strikes. I mean, his walk to strikeout ratio very good. He only walked 6 batters in 5 June starts. That's outstanding. You got to be aware of that comeback sinker for Kyle Gibson. Can't give up on that pitch. Pitch that starts away to a right-hander. Might very well end up catching the corner.
First big league at bat of the year for Jorge Polanco, the switch hitting shortstop. See the numbers from last year. 13 home runs, 74 driven in, a very talented defensive shortstop. And he lines one into left. Braun is there for the out. And one away in the second. You like the stars and stripes get up the teams are wearing as we get to Independence Day?
Yeah, I really like the hats that the Brewers are wearing, the ball and glove with the stars and stripes. It took me a minute to figure out the sock issue. It's kind of like an American flag.
Thought it was a mismatch.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
something went horribly wrong in the locker room.
Yep, blue on the right and the stripes on the left.
Here's the newcomer to the Twins, Williams Astudillo. He is a catcher by trade, but he is a multi-purpose super utility man right now. Can play infield spots on the corners, can play in the outfield.
This guy will jump early in the count. He likes to ambush the fastball. Yeah, doesn't walk, doesn't strike out much.
Just made his major league debut Saturday. That was at Wrigley Field, Chicago. It is a family trip for the Twins as well, so Astudillo was able to have his family there for his debut, his wife and young child, and a great moment for him, very similar to the Nate Orf story. And I'm sure those two are battling those internal butterflies here in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Astudillo did start yesterday. That was his first start in the majors. And he's back in there today.
Yep, it all ends after that first at bat. And Orth had a bit of a break with a ground ball, first hitter of the game. Saw some action. But it's just another game once you get that first AB out of the way.
Nate Orf will be due up second. Brewers have had a revolving door at second base. Orf becomes the 7th different second baseman. Big swing and a miss by Astudillo. 2-2 now.
High fastball, 86 miles an hour. That little cut right at the end is what keeps that baseball off a lot of bats.
2-2 pitch and a line shot back up the middle. Astudillo now has 4 hits in the big leagues in just 3 days in the majors. And 2 men are on for the Twins here with just 1 out.
He's thinking to himself, this is easy up here. Wow.
He looks like a character, and those who know him say he is a character. First and second with 1 away, and here comes Max Kepler.
Guy had a nice series against the Brewers in Minnesota. Hit the ball well.
Kepler has cooled somewhat here lately. He's got some power. He homered against the Brewers in Minnesota. Suter has Kepler 0-2. Suter's going to face 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight. There are 2 switch hitters, but 3 of the 9 will hit off the same side. Kepler, an everyday player, so he's in there against the lefty. Aaron Buxton is back in the minor leagues. He's been dealing with a number of injuries. They actually activated Buxton today, who was such a key piece to their run to the postseason last year. He's had migraines, he's had a broken toe, but they did activate him off the DL, but they optioned him to the minor leagues, so he's not in the plans right now. He's another guy that the Twins are hoping can get a reboot.
Another guy that had a big year last year that just could not figure it out this year.
Well, the Twins feel like he is their most important player because of what he gives you defensively, the speed game. He's the center fielder.
Won a Gold Glove and a Platinum Glove last year, did Buxton. The best all-around defender in the league. The Platinum Glove.
1-2 to Kepler is fouled back. The Brewers scored in the first inning, got an RBI ground ball from Jesus Aguilar, fielder's choice. 2 hits in the inning. Brewers have the early lead. Suter with 2 on, 1 away. Kepler able to lay off. 2-2 now. Suter making start number 16, appearance number 18. Was thought to be a swing man and a spot starter. There's a called strike 3. He's got another one right on the inside corner, and his 3rd strikeout. 2 of those have been looking.
And both of them on the glove side. You got Dozier, down and in. And this one on the inside corner. This one arm side, my mistake.
Easy to give up on as a hitter.
Yeah, a little cut and just able to catch the edge.
Thrown there for effect. Used to be when you throw one there, they'd call it a hanger. But now it's a stunner. It just freezes the hitter.
Well, the front door cutter, right?
Suter is certainly a symbol of the way the game has changed from the mound. He pitches up in the zone. He throws those front door breaking balls. A guy with velocity only as high as about 90 miles an hour. Typically cruising speed for him is 87 to 89, and yet he challenges hitter at the letters. Will throw anything at any count.
And all arms and legs coming at you. Tall left-hander, and you just can't pick the ball up. That's why he gets away with those high fastballs.
That's the speed range right now. He can throw his curveball as slow as 68 miles an hour on occasion. Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, had a big influence on Suter. Bobby Wilson in a 1-2 count now.
Suter and all these pitchers, working up in the zone.
It's been the magic formula. Brewers don't have those big name starting pitchers, but they've been an effective group. Suter's been the best winner of them all right now. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Wilson. Back-to-back Ks for the 2nd consecutive inning. Suter off to a scoreless start. Nate Orf hits 2nd when we continue. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Hey, Sunday, July 8th, all fans at the Brewers finale against the Braves will take home a Robin Yount 1970s replica jersey courtesy of Orbis Corporation. To book your seats, visit brewers.com/tickets. Very
There
nice.
he is.
Very nice. Pay no attention to that man behind the jersey.
These are great. I love these jerseys.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep this one. This one's my size here, Rock.
It's all yours, buddy.
We'd have to cut that in a few parts. We got some big ones coming, though. Don't worry about it. We got one for you.
I'm sure. I'm not worried. It's only
Ryan-
Monday.
Ryan Braun leads off for the Brewers in the second inning. It'll be Braun, Orf, and Manny Pena. Brewers get a run in the first. Jesus Aguilar with the RBI on a ground ball, a fielder's choice. And then Aguilar's mad dash around the bases ended up as the final out at the plate. Braun's final at bat yesterday was a good one, and it served two purposes. It was a home run, first of all, a two-run blast, 425-foot home run, which was his 10th. But it eliminated the shutout, and it kept a streak alive that we'll have to pay attention to when we get back to Cincinnati. Brewers have set a record 19 straight home runs at Great American Ballpark. 19 homers in as many games, and Braun bounces out. There is out number one, and the first major league at bat of Nate Orf is coming up.
You know that heart's pounding right now. Every player, I don't care how long you play, always remembers their first at bat.
Hear your name called at a big league stadium. What a road it's been to get here. Out of Baylor. That crowd starting to get into it now. I love that. It was a slow swell, but
Yeah.
it did rise. He earned his way here, didn't he? Hit 307 in AAA.
Yeah, Brewers fans know what's going on. They follow what it is. They know who Nate Orf is and what he's done, how long it's taken him to get here.
Orf was in Round Rock, Texas last night playing in a AAA game. Had a big night offensively last night. It's funny, on the way back when the Brewers landed, I called my brother, who's a scout, as you know, and he was at that game, and he said, Nate Orf is killing it down here. Why don't you guys call him up? And sure enough, they did. They were thinking the same.
Yeah, just a really good feel-good story for the Brewers. I mean, everybody rooting for this guy. Guys in the Brewers clubhouse, guys down at AAA.
2-2 the count on Orf, his first major league at bat. A little lazy fly ball. That's going to be Polanco back to make the catch, and he's got that one over with.
Yeah. Now get to business.
Crowd gives him a big hand. He made it. You're a big leaguer, Nate Orf. He is in the official directory now.
Baseball encyclopedia.
Got a great crowd tonight on a Monday night. Big crowds all through the homestand. The Brewers play the Twins, and then it'll be a 4-game series with Atlanta starting Thursday. Manny Pena gets sawed off, a fly ball to center. And Kyle Gibson with a quick 1-2-3 inning. Side retired. We're on our way to the third. 1-0 Brew Crew. On television, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. One to nothing Brew Crew as we go to the third inning. Brent Suter back to work. He'll face the pitcher Gibson. National League ballpark means the American League team has their pitcher hit at hamstrings some AL teams a little bit. Not this time though. Gibson with a base hit. Well, the Twins pitcher with his first hit of the season.
Yep, cut her out over the plate, right? Now they want the ball. Must be his first.
Joe West will send that into the Minnesota dugout. That'll go on a mantle somewhere. Is that right? Let's see. I've got, yeah, that's his third hit. But you're right.
Then why do they need the ball?
I think Logan Morrison just assumed with the way he swung during batting practice there'd be no chance he'd have a hit at this point.
I was going to say, I mean, he's been around a while. It's his sixth season.
It's his third hit. He didn't have a hit.
Now, if he gets
last 2 years,
if he gets another one, then they ask for that ball. Then we know something's up.
That'd be a career high in hits. Joe Mauer sends one deep to center field. That's way back, and that's going to be off the top of the wall. Gibson on his way to third. Mauer into second. It's a double. Almost left for a 2-run homer. And the Twins are in business in this third inning.
Well, you see where the cutter ends up. It's up. That's where he wants it. But Joe Mauer, I mean, he's one of the best hitters in the game for a reason. That he kind of makes adjustments. That one about 2 feet from leaving the ballpark.
Second and third, nobody out. Mauer, the leadoff man for the Twins. They just started that right before the Brewers saw them back in May. Trying to take advantage of his ability to get on base. And here is Eddie Rosario. Dangerous hitter at the plate in a spot like this. Rosario is one of the best hitters in the American League. He's top 10 in the AL in a number of categories, including batting average, multi-hit games, extra base hits, total bases.
Yep, and 52 RBIs to go with it. His next hit will be number 100.
Twins are without Eduardo Escobar in the lineup today, getting the day off. He and Logan Morrison, part of Molitor's bench today. It's a 4-man bench. Wow, chased one around the eyes. How about that? Wow. A gift from Rosario for the first out of the inning. And the 5th strikeout for Brent Suter, and he's never had one like that.
Yeah, about head high, literally head high, and obviously not seeing it all that well. Check out where this pitch is. I mean, literally neck high, and gets it right by him. He swings at it. You don't see a hitter the caliber of Rosario chase a pitch like that.
Yeah. That is a surprise, and now it gives Suter a chance to get out of this inning perhaps. He's one step closer, one away with Dozier. Big chopper foul. Dozier's name has been swirling in the trade mill. He is a piece that the Twins could move if they don't get hot and play their way back into contention. They're going to have a significant run here before the trade deadline. They went on one of those runs in the second half last season. Dozier chases one up there. And it's 0-2.
And Dozier normally a pretty good high ball hitter. He's got big power, likes that high fastball.
Dozier throughout his career has been great against left-handed pitching. That has not been the case this season. Despite the down year, I think most teams feel that Dozier would be a significant add to any contending team.
He's only got 1 home run against lefties this year, hitting .229.
He's only hit 12 homers this season. Remember, 2 years ago he had 42 home runs, 99 RBIs. Was an all-star in 2015 and then backed it up with a monster season in 2016. Dozier again chasing that high pitch.
You know the other crazy statistic on Dozier, there it is right there, the 1 home run, but he's only got 1 home run at home this year. 11 of his 12 have come on the road and against right-handers.
Brewers are trying to keep him cooled off for 3 more games. Then he can get hot. A swing and a miss. Suter with a strikeout. No, they're saying foul ball. Is that right? Home plate umpire Doug Eddings saying it was a foul ball. Craig Counsell's on his way out. Doug Eddings is convinced it was a foul ball. Counsell's only play here is to have Eddings ask his field umpires for help, which it doesn't look like he's going to do. This is not a reviewable play.
Yep, curveball from Suter way off the outside corner. That's not even close. I mean, that is terrible. How do you box that? Boy, we've seen some bad calls. He missed that one by a good 4 or 5 inches.
Just can't make calls like you're a major league umpire.
Yeah, you got to do better than that. I mean, in this situation, that's just terrible.
And then on the flip side, is there a day when that could become reviewable? It should. Ground ball to short. This is going to cost Suter a run.
Yeah.
Miller makes a play for the out.
I mean, how in the world do you watch that and call that a foul tip? My goodness.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah, that's just unacceptable. You just can't allow that. I mean, here's the curveball, and watch how far Dozier's bat is from this baseball. I mean, really? You're going to call that a foul tip?
Wow.
Inexcusable.
Well, he ties the game up on a ground out to short. 2 outs now. Runner at second is Mauer. And here is Robbie Grossman. I do think, you know, when they put that rule in initially, the replay rule, that they had a lot of elements to determine what could be and what could not be subject to review. One of the main reasons why those weren't, the foul tips and whatnot, first of all, you weren't able to get quite the look at it that we are now. Technology has advanced so much, and our cameras and replay speeds nowadays can see that frame by frame. And we have an excellent cameraman out there capturing all those images. So it is something I think you could probably look at again with foul tips and hit by pitches and whatnot. Fly ball into right. Thames eases over. He'll make the catch. But the home plate umpire Doug Eddings had a big error in that inning, and it allows the Twins to tie the game.
players are already in the Stars and Stripes uniforms on the field. The team doing a lot to celebrate the 4th of July this week. You'll have the Tour of Honor with veterans before the game, also Dollar Dogs Day, so plenty of reasons for fans to come out and celebrate the 4th here.
Yeah, good crowds for the 4th, and we got the Braves coming in for the weekend and some nice promotions this coming weekend.
And for the weekend series against the Braves, we want to highlight the 5-county Friday and also, of course, the Robin Yount jersey for Sunday.
Yeah, 50% off tickets in most locations for 5-county residents on Friday. The replica Robin Yount jersey for everybody on Sunday.
All right, it'll be a lot of fun here this week. Plenty of reasons for fans to come out, and BA and Rock. Rock, you were a part of that Stars and Stripes honor flight. It'll be such a special pregame ceremony as the team honors the veterans here on the field before the 4th.
Yeah, just wonderful folks that take part in that honor flight. Not just the veterans that go on the planes and visit DC, but the people behind the scenes, the honor flight folks. They don't get paid a cent for the hard work that they do on a daily basis, preparing those things. What a great experience it was to go on one of those.
Say hello to our good pal Karen Relke, who is heavily responsible for a lot of that public relations activity and organizing those flights. Keon Broxton chases a breaking ball. He's down on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Kyle Gibson. He's retired 5 in a row now. Gibson's first inning was a 9-pitch inning, and then it was a 10-pitch second inning. He's been efficient. The Brewers are swinging early. Looks like an aggressive approach. But that Jurassic Park theme could only mean one thing. A Brent Suter at bat here in the 3rd inning. And he can hit. Couldn't even get it out of my mouth. He can swing the bat. His 5th hit of the year.
Pitchers are both 1 for 1 tonight. Yeah, I mean, all aspects of the game. I mean, Brent Suter, not just a pitcher, he's a baseball player. Plays good defense, holds runners, he can run. And he can do this pretty well. Yeah, that fastball up and out over the plate, you're doing a pitcher a favor by leaving one out like that, and Suter able to hit it hard into left field. That's a nice swing. Look at the balance on that swing. And just out of the reach of the 3rd baseman.
Here is Brad Miller now. He had an opposite field base hit his last time up. Got some numbers stacked up against this pitcher. His career numbers against Kyle Gibson: 7 hits and 16 at-bats, and he's walked 4 times. That's a .438 batting average after his base hit to the opposite field in the 1st, and he scored the lone Brewer run.
They got a fastball out over the plate. What do? They bust him inside.
Miller's got big power. 30 homer season 2 years ago with the Rays. And he is way out in front of an off-speed pitch. A ball and 2 strikes.
Man, that's another pitch that he started to throw a little bit. This year the curveball's been more of a pitch for him than in the past. It's predominantly sinker slider, but he's throwing that curveball a little bit more to keep him honest.
One out base runner at first. The pitcher Suter. And another swing and a miss. A strikeout for Gibson. That's his 2nd.
Strikeout on the slider to Broxton, and now the curveball to get Brad Miller. Both pitches out of the strike zone, the slider and the curve, to get the strikeout.
Here's Eric Thames. He singled to right his first time up. Helped set up the run scoring opportunity. Thames getting another start at right. Ideally, he is a left fielder or a first baseman. But Counsell wants to keep Braun in left. That's where he's most comfortable and where he's at his best. So Thames, who's moving around anyway, plays right field. Thames had his struggles in the outfield, left and right.
Did you notice
against the Reds?
There's 4 outfielders out there for the Twins?
That's right.
There's no third baseman.
The Twins have done this on a few occasions this year. Yeah, 4 outfielders. I've seen the Astros do this as well. And Thames with a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, no third baseman.
That would be Astudillo, who is out in the left field corner.
Crazy, isn't it?
You got 3 of your regular outfielders, plus the third baseman is out there. 4 outfield alignment, all deep.
What would Connie Mack say?
Oh, he'd just cinch up his tie and button up his suit and say,
His top hat.
say
Man.
the game's changed.
Jeez. We haven't seen this yet. This is a new shift.
First time for Thames. And Thames fouls it away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So I guess on a base hit here, you figure somebody's going to be busting it over to third base, probably Polanco.
I wonder if Thames knows it. That'd be my question. As a hitter, are you aware of? I mean, I know you're aware of 3 infielders on the right side, Sam.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
4 outfield alignment, trying to come inside on Thames, and he missed inside. 3-2 now. Paul Molitor has done this on a few occasions this year with 4 outfielders. Three and 2 to Thames. Suter takes off. Thames fouls it away. Can Thames defy the shift? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Suter goes. Ball 4. It's a walk with 2 away. Now first and second. And here comes Aguilar. And here comes Astudillo back to the infield.
You can't do that to Aguilar. I mean, he uses the whole field pretty well and for power.
Jesus Aguilar on the Powerball home run leaderboard. He's got 19 home runs this season. Travis Shaw with 14. Shaw's been stuck on 14 for about a month now. He's been dealing with that sore wrist. Aguilar with an RBI in the first. 2 on, 2 out. Aguilar is currently 3rd in the NL in homers. Nolan Arenado has 21. Bryce Harper with 20. Then Aguilar. Then Paul Goldschmidt. And Jesus is tied for 8th in RBIs.
And he's going to have to lay off of that, or Gibson's just going to keep throwing it. Brewers have to prove to Kyle Gibson that they're going to lay off that breaking ball down out of the strike zone. Going to see one after another.
Suter at second. He reached on a 1-out single. Thames over at first. 2 outs in the third. Here's the 0-2, and Aguilar a foul tip. In and out of the glove of the catcher Wilson. He did call that a foul tip, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Accurately.
Those are the ranks for Jesus. These are the numbers since April 21st, which was the date he hit his first home run. His first RBI wasn't until April 19th. You think about what he's been able to do in such a short amount of time. We're talking fewer than 200 at-bats. And Aguilar, who spotted the rest of the National League about 3 weeks before he hit his first homer.
That's right.
He drove in his first run. Darnell Coles has been so impressed, not just with the power, and that's impressive enough, but the approach. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he lays off.
And particularly the 2-strike approach. Let's see if Gibson finally gives him a fastball.
with 2 strikes. Jesus Aguilar has hit 10 home runs and a .279 batting average with 2 strikes. That's 4th best. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 pitch. Popped him up. Just missed it on the bat. Grossman is there to make the play to end the inning. All tied at 1 here in Milwaukee. Jesus Aguilar got one to handle, and he just missed it on the bat. He knows it. Here we go to the 4th.
Tied at 1. Our minor league scouting report brought to you by UW Whitewater. Why not talk about Nate Orf, called up for his major league debut today on the season with the Sky Sox, a .307 average, 6 home runs, 2 of them coming yesterday, 39 RBIs, more than 600 minor league games played after signing as a free agent undrafted out of Baylor in 2013. And you know how much this moment means to him. He shared a great story before the game, DA and Rock. He said, you know, the last few years you grinded out in AAA. He's been there since 2016. You see guys come up and down. A lot of them get that major league moment. He says, and you have to tell yourself, of course, you have to be patient, but you have to perform, you have to earn your way there. And he said even yesterday, he had a 2 home run game, part of a 4-hit day for him, and he thought to himself on the field, he said, man, you're gonna have to earn your way there. You're gonna have to continue to produce, continue to force their hand to get that call. He said, little did I know that just an hour later after the game, manager Rick Sweet would come in, announce it in front of the team that he was finally getting that call to the big leagues. He got the beer shower from all of his teammates, and he said, obviously, it's one of those days that makes that grind so worth it.
Yeah, those are the great stories. Good reporting there, Sophia, and we appreciate Nate sharing some of those stories. Had a 4-hit game yesterday, had a single, a double, the 2 homers. Playing in the Pacific Coast League in Round Rock. Colorado Springs was on the road, so his travel here to Milwaukee today came from the Austin area, Austin, Texas, to Milwaukee, and he was here in plenty of time to get the start today. Fly ball to right by Polanco. Thames is there for out number 1.
Side for $500.
And just, you know, tell us a little bit, because I know you know this grind well. You were drafted, you went into the Brewers minor league system as a draft player, as a prospect. When you sign as an undrafted college player, the best they would probably say about you is he's a good guy to have around some of the younger prospects.
Kind of an insurance type guy, you know, a fill-in, you know, in the minor league level. But, you know, I never considered playing ball in the minor leagues a grind. I mean, I felt like I had the time of my life in the minor leagues. And I was sure, I'll be honest with you, you know, Nate Orf would probably tell you the same thing. It wasn't a grind. No more of a grind than it is up in the major leagues. And not as much pressure on you down there. And well, he's finally here, and he earned it, and nobody gave it to him. But, you know, being a non-drafted free agent, I mean, there's a lot of no's. I mean, Craig Counsell was talking about that in the dugout before the game. Everybody's telling you no. No, you're not good enough. No, you're not big enough. No, you don't throw hard enough. And that gives you even more incentive to work even harder. And that's what Nate Orf was able to do. And he got here.
Well, he started his pro career in 2013. So he signed this contract. Imagine Nate Orf sitting around after his collegiate career had ended at Baylor. And the draft goes on, round 1, round 2. You get all the way to the end of the draft, under the 40th round. There's a little flare that's going to fall. This guy, Astudillo, keeps on hitting for the Twins.
Puts the bat on the baseball.
It's his second hit of the game. He's got 5 hits now. Just his second major league start. And it's a 1-out base runner. But you know, the wolf is at the door for a player like Nate Orf. So you're constantly playing with the stress that a prospect would not have, especially early. The prospects know, especially if a team's invested money in prospects through the draft, they know they're not going to be released. They may get sent down, or you may have certain things to work on. Kepler on the first pitch. Flies into left field for out number 2.
And you talk about a guy that didn't have all the tools, you know, didn't throw hard, didn't run all that great, not great range. I would imagine the Brewers manager heard a lot of that when he was going through the minor leagues.
That's a great call, because
so he can relate to the Nate Orf story for sure.
Well, Orf is a career .291 hitter through 6 minor league seasons. And then the last 3 seasons, last 2 seasons really, but include winter ball in that as well. That's an out at first. Suter gets Astudillo. Paul Molitor wants to have a look. Suter regularly picks off base runners.
Even guys that really aren't looking to run.
Let's see where the tag is. It's going to be close. Out on the field is, or
that's
call
the
on
key.
the field is out. Is there enough evidence to overturn? Does Molitor want a challenge? He's counting it down. He says play on. A pickoff. Inning over. Astudillo got the hit, but he is wiped out with a pickoff move.
'18 All-Star game later this month. By casting a ballot full of Brewer players, upon submitting your ballot, you can also enter to win a suite at Miller Park for a 2018 Brewers home game. Learn more at brewers.com/vote.
Well, Christian Yelich still banged up, not on the disabled list, but still nursing the sore back. Did take some fly balls today, had some throwing drills as well, hoping to get him back shortly. Brewers do not want to put him on the disabled list, but they will probably have to do that if he can't get back by tomorrow, maybe the next day.
He took some early BP today, which is a pretty good sign. Trying to get through it. You can only backdate it 3 days.
Travis Shaw leads off for the Brewers. Just underway here in the bottom of the 4th. Travis Shaw bounced out his last time up, ended up as a double play that went all over the place. Started as a 4-3 out, and then the throw from Mauer went into left field. Here's Shaw down the line. That is hooking foul.
Talked to Travis today at the batting cage, talked about that wrist. He said it's feeling better every day. Feels like he's able to wait back a little bit longer and still be quick to the baseball. He got a couple of hits in yesterday's game in Cincinnati. Both of the hits coming to left field.
Yeah, they had a shift on for Shaw, and he beat that shift. He waited back, slapped one to the opposite field, drew 3 walks on Saturday in Cincinnati. Little jam shot, fly ball to right, got some carry, and it's going to be caught by Grossman. Shaw just missed it on the bat. There's been a couple of those tonight for the Brewers.
He got that one down in the trademark, but still quick enough, keeping the hands back, and nearly knocked it out of here. That's what I'm talking about. The wrist is starting to feel better.
So 1 away, and here is Ryan Braun. Let's check in with Sophia. She's got more on the Christian Yelich situation. When are they hoping to get him back, Sophia?
Well, the good news is that Craig Counsell feels that they turned a corner today. And speaking with Yelich before the game, he was on the field. He took early batting practice. He did some fly ball work with outfield coach Eddie Cedar as well. And so Yelich gave me the thumbs up. He said he was feeling a lot better today than even yesterday. He's obviously not in the lineup tonight, and they'll try to stay away from him today. But both of them, Yelich and Counsell, considered it a very positive day, a step in the right direction. It's possible that he could be in the lineup tomorrow, and if not, Wednesday. All
right, thanks, Sophia. Good news for Yelich. Meanwhile, Lorenzo Cain still on the disabled list with the groin injury, and by all accounts from our chat with him in Cincinnati, he's coming along well and hoping to be back on the active roster when he is eligible. There's a strike to Braun on right at the bottom of the strike zone with a fastball, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Doug Eddings likes that low strike. We don't see too many umpires that will give that knee-high strike. Most of them are more high ball strike umpires.
Two to Braun. He grounded out to short in the second inning. And a big chopper. Nice play, Astudio. Throw to first, wide, and Braun beats it out. It'll be an infield hit for Ryan Braun.
And not bad range from the studio right there. Angling back, got it in the glove, and just throw a little bit off the mark. Base hit for Brawny. You know, all those line drives that were caught early in the season are starting to even out. He's had a few of these lately. Infield hits. And just not able to get any accuracy on the throw.
So a man on with 1 out. Here comes Nate Orf. Second big league at bat. His first one ended in a pop up to short. Coming off a 4-hit game in AAA last night. Missed hitting for the cycle by a triple. He hit a home run instead. 2 homers last night. We've seen a lot of Nate in spring training. He always hits, plays hard. He and Kyle Wren, who was recently released by the Brewers, those two were the spring training heroes in the back halves of those spring training games. Guy gives you max effort in everything he does.
Always up there amongst leaders in at-bats in spring training. Just about every single day he's in there. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Runner at first with 1 away, inside. Orf's played all over his regular position, most comfortable position is second base, but he can play short. Played a lot of short in AAA. Can play third. You could put him in the corner outfield spots as well. He's extremely versatile. Another reason why Council thought he'd be a good play here. He's left a good impression with spring trainings past, and he's gone down to the minor leagues and hit. He had a great winter ball last year in Venezuela. That was one thing that certainly gets your attention when you go to Venezuela and you have success like he did. There's a lot of big league pitchers there. That's on the ground to short, and that's going to turn into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. 4 in the books. We are tied at 1. It's the Brewers and the Twins interleague baseball in Milwaukee tonight. At Miller Park, Milwaukee. Roof is open. Now time for the Lowe's whole team together. Nate Orp becomes the 45th player to have played a game with the Brewers this year. So the most players who have played in 1 or more games this season in the major leagues. The Angels have used the most, 49 players this season. Then the Mets, then the Brewers. Brewers maximizing their roster, and I'm sure those players in AAA who are getting the chance at the major league level are enjoying those opportunities, especially for a team that is in first place.
And it's good for morale down in the minor leagues to see that kind of movement. You don't feel like you're just stuck in the minor leagues with no opportunity to, get up here, and that's certainly not the case with the Brewers.
Well, you're only allowed 40 players on your major league roster, so obviously the Brewers have done a lot of maneuvering on their roster. Nate Orf had to be added to the major league roster. He was not on the 40-man in order to make room for him. They put a player on the 60-day disabled list, Nick Franklin. That clears a spot. But that'll be a spot that has to be reconciled when and if Franklin is able to return this year.
It's been a while for him.
Hamstring injury, a bad one. High fly ball to left. Bobby Wilson sends one deep into the corner, and Braun will make the catch for the out. One away.
I thought that was going to go a little further than that. The ball might not be traveling as we thought it might.
Here's the pitcher, Kyle Gibson, who singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Both pitchers have a hit in this game. Suter's hit was to left field, opposite field. Gibson's went right back up the middle, and he's 2 for 2. First 2 hits of the year in his first multi-hit season of his life.
Wow.
or at least of his professional career.
You can't allow that. I mean, one time is one thing, but 2 hits out of the pitcher's spot for a guy in the American League.
He had not had a hit since 2016 in the majors. He's got 2 this year in this game. Hadn't had a plate appearance until this game. Well, that puts a man on for Joe Mauer, who almost hit one out in the 3rd inning. Hit a drive off the center field fence.
Another low strike. Suter's been pretty good at the knees. Normally he doesn't want to throw down there.
Oh, and 2 the count on Mauer. Regular days off these days for Mauer, just to keep him sharp. He did have yesterday off.
21 RBIs is all.
Mauer still on a monster contract. It was an 8-year deal when he signed it, and it runs through this season. This is the last year of that 8-year, $180 million contract. He signed that just prior to the 2011 season. So you look at those years leading up to 2011, you understand why. 3 times a batting champion, MVP in 2009, winning Gold Glove awards and Silver Slugger awards just about every year. He and Justin Morneau were quite the tandem at the Metrodome.
Yeah, big run production. Mauer in his career has never had 100 RBIs.
At 96 one year. That was in his MVP season. He had 28 homers that season. Drive into center. Broxton on his way backhand makes the catch for the out.
That one had some carry.
That can't be an easy ball to play right there. A line shot right at him. He didn't know which way to turn. Keon, a very accomplished outfielder.
Fastball in, and that one had a little bit of a slice, not much, and a good play by Broxton. Going back right in front of the warning track.
Center fielders always say the line drive right at you is the hardest one.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's going to hook or slice or it's going to get down. It's tough to see trajectory.
Yeah, a lot of times you can't tell how hard it's hit when it's right at you.
2 outs, and here is Rosario with the pitcher Gibson at first. Suter has struck him out twice. Now Rosario hooks one down the line. This is trouble if it's fair. It is a foul ball. Not by much.
No.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, Rosario was looking down the line there. He's looking into the dugout.
These kind of batted balls are all reviewable. This is a good look here. Never disappeared behind the pole. And a foul ball. Good call. No review necessary. It's a long, loud strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rosario.
It was a curveball. Man, down in the zone, he hooked it.
Well, he swung at one at the eyes. He swung at one at the shins. Pops out with foul. That was upstairs. Suter struck Rosario out on a pitch that was literally eye high.
Nearly hit him in the eye. Way up and in.
It's a big strikeout in that inning as well. That was with runners at first and second, or rather second and third, and nobody out. Nice block back there by Pena. Two and two. Rosario steps out. 26 years of age. Out of Puerto Rico, Eddie Rosario has been a terrific player for them. Punches one over to short. Got to hurry it up. Miller's throw to first is late. Snap throw to second. Back in time is Gibson. That's an infield hit for Rosario, and the inning is alive for the Twins in the 5th.
Yeah, it's a big hit right there. That brings up Dozier, the right-hander. Rosario able to put the ball in play, give himself a chance, and he got first base.
Base hit number 100 of the season. That's 4th best in the AL.
Pretty good pitch, pretty good piece of hitting just to put it in play.
So 2 men are out, and here is Dozier, who drove in a run with a ground out in the 3rd. That tied the game. He was given a gift by the home plate umpire, though. The pitch prior looked like Suter had struck him out, but Doug Eddings saw it or heard it as a foul ball. Replays showed it was not a foul ball, not even close.
No.
And Dozier took advantage and drove in his 34th run of the year.
It should be 1-0 right now.
Two and 0 to Dozier. And now 3 balls, no strikes. You got to watch this pitch here. Dozier will get the green light. 3-0.
You know he's swinging if he likes it.
His RBIs are down, but he's still in a run producer's role in his batting order. 2 on, 2 out.
That took a little off.
85-mile-an-hour fastball. Didn't look like a changeup. Maybe just, what do they call it? A dead fish fastball?
Yeah.
I get it.
That's a Pete Vukovich term.
As opposed to the live fish fastball. There's a ground ball through. Base hit. Gibson's going to be held at 3rd. That's the pitcher running, and that's a break for the Brewers.
Yes, it is. I thought for sure they were going to send him. Then I realized who was at second base. You don't want your pitcher sliding into home plate.
Braun has a strong, accurate arm in left field as well.
And the cut fastball out over the plate. Looked like Dozier was out in front a little bit, but able to find the hole. And Gene Glynn holding up Kurt Gibson.
And so, with 2 away, the Twins have loaded him up, and that means a visit from Derek Johnson, the Brewer pitching coach.
I said Kurt Gibson. It's Kyle Gibson.
They would have sent Kurt Gibson.
Yeah, he would have gone.
Or else he would have run through a stop sign. Taylor Williams getting loose. Anytime you get into the 3rd time through the batting order, the leash is pretty short for Suter. Remember, in his last start against Kansas City, the final numbers not indicative of how well he pitched. Final numbers were 6 innings and 4 earned runs, but he pitched 5 shutout innings in that game.
Yep.
And then the Twins scored 4 in the, rather the Royals scored 4 in the 6th inning. So the leash is short. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and a drive into left center field. Keon Broxton on the run, and it is gone. Boy, that one hurts. Grand slam. Robbie Grossman. And this game just turned on a dime. And the 3rd straight day the Brewers have given up a grand slam.
Well, nothing good ever happens when you allow the pitcher to get leadoff base hits. It happened twice. That didn't waste any time. That fastball up out over the plate. He's effective when he's up and in, not up out over the plate. You can see where Manny was setting up, and Grossman knocks it out of here. Boy.
Jorge Polanco takes a strike.
3 grand slams in a very short period of time. Man.
Pop up into foul territory. Shaw will give it a look in the seats. That's the first grand slam of Robbie Grossman's big league career. Two outs, 1 on, turns into a 4-run 5th inning for Minnesota. And it's 5-1 Twins. Travis Shaw, and that will retire the side. Well, the Brewers have some work to do tonight. 5-1 they trail. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
With hashtag hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
A reminder that the World Cup round of 16 continues tomorrow on Fox and FS1. First, it's Sweden taking on Switzerland. That's at 8 a.m. Central. And then superpowers collide Colombia against England at noon on Fox. World Cup knockout round action, Fox and FS1. You can stream it all live on the Fox Sports app. Brewers down 5-1 after a Robbie Grossman grand slam. 3 straight days the Brewers have seen the opposition hit a grand slam. The first one was by the Reds relief pitcher Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah. All started with a base hit by Kyle Gibson. And little things like that, I mean, they add up in an inning. The infield hit. And first pitch to Grossman knocks it out of here.
Manny Pena sends one deep into left center field, and that's one is going to be gone. Manny Pena with a home run. 5-2 Minnesota on Pena's 6th.
Now the Twins have had a difficult time holding leads. They couldn't hold a couple of leads in Chicago, and the Brewers are hoping that's going to be the case tonight. There's a good start. And fastball down and in, and Manny able to get the barrel on it, knock it out of here. Number 6. Powerball home run count for Manny Pena.
Line shot out of here to center field. And the Pineapple comes up with a long ball, a solo homer to lead off. 6 homers, 16 RBIs for Pena. Here's Keon Broxton now. Suter's spot due next. You figure that'll be the end of the line for him. The Brewers starter. will be lifted for a pinch hitter, so you can close the book on him. And again, pitched better than his line would indicate, but got roughed up in his last inning, just like against the Royals. Broxton with a line shot into the gap in left center. Rosario cuts it off. Broxton speeds his way to second base with a double.
There you go. Like Keon, boy, he can run the bases. And he was thinking about a double as soon as he hit that baseball. And Rosario was thrown not even close to second base.
Two very hard hit balls to start this fifth inning.
Yep, a hanging slider. Gibson hadn't hung too many, but that was one of them. And Broxton took advantage of it and ripped it out there into the gap.
Pickman double all the way out of the box. And here comes Jonathan Villar now with Broxton in scoring position. Pinch hitting for Suter. Suter giving up 5 runs, all earned in 5 innings. 9 hits. Didn't walk a batter. He struck out 5. Think about his last 2 outings. He's pitched 11 innings. He's given up 9 runs in his last 2 outings. But in only 2 of those innings have the 9 runs been scored. Chopper out to second base. Dozier's got to hurry, and Villar is in there. Beats it out, an infield hit on the Baltimore chop. Twins will certainly want to look at this one. It was bang bang at first, but Villar called safe and an infield hit.
Well, you knew it was going to be close with the way Villar gets down that line, particularly from the left side. Again, the call in the field is safe. Is it enough to overturn it?
Paul Molitor is asking for a review. It's when it enters the glove there, foot not on the bag. This one might be overturned.
How close is that?
So they will go to a review and a challenge here by the Twins. Joe West is the crew chief on the right. The calling umpire is Marty Foster. He's on the left. And Joe West will be the one to relay the call from Chelsea, New York in the replay center.
That's as soon as the baseball hits the leather.
And it looks like they just showed the replay once again here. Fans seeing what we just saw as well.
Hard to tell where the heel hits. Does the heel hit first or the toe? And it's going to be awfully close. Key is the call in the field is safe.
There has to be enough evidence to overturn, convincing evidence.
Watch the heel. I don't know.
Well, here comes the call from New York. Joe West says safe. Wow. That's a break, I think, for the Brewers. It was close. Not enough to overturn. And the Brewers now in business with runners at the corners. A run is already in. And Paul Molitor has lost his challenges for the night.
Yeah, I don't blame him for challenging that. And the umpire's apparently saying that the heel hit first. You can see the toe up in the air. It's awfully close. Ooh, my goodness. I think they did get a bit of a break.
The wording on that is that the call stands, which means there's not enough evidence to overturn. They can say that it is overturned, of course, or the call is confirmed if they know for sure the call was accurate. Brad Miller back to the top spot in the order. First and third, nobody out, a run is in. Suddenly the Brewers have the tying run at the plate.
And that's why Paul Molitor didn't hesitate to ask for a review.
Miller, a little jam shot, falling fast. It is down, base hit, and it gets by Rosario. In to score Broxton. VR will stop at second. It's an RBI single for Miller, and it's 5-3 Minnesota.
Well, Rosario didn't get a very good jump on that. That ball hung up there a lot longer than I thought it would. Gibson getting in on his hands. Ball hung up there, but it just didn't seem like Rosario got a very good break on it. That pitch was up and in. You can see Rosario took an angle on it. Looked like he took a banana route to it. He went across as opposed to going straight in. And dumps in front of him.
Keon Broxton had a hustle double, ends up scoring the run, the third run of the game for the Brewers. And it's the second hit for Miller. At a mound visit here. Garvin Alston, the Minnesota pitching coach, trying to settle down Gibson. Twins got a grand slam in the top of this fifth inning to take a 5-1 lead. Robbie Grossman hit the grand slam. But Gibson has given two back, and the Brewers threatening for more with the Lumber Company coming up. Eric Thames now with nobody out and runners at the corners. I beg your pardon, first and second. Thames caught it short. No throw. Hit it hard, but a nice play by Jorge Polanco.
Yeah, good job by VR. He held his ground, able to get back.
Yeah, those turn into double plays often. Tough break for Eric Thames.
Yeah, watch VR. I mean, good base running. Yep, saw it right away and got back. That's an inning ender.
And a victim of the shift. So one away. And here is Jesus Aguilar, the Brewers' top run producer. 2 on, 1 out. Aguilar sitting on 19 home runs this year. He was oh so close to hitting one out his last time up. Missed it by a fraction on the bat. Ended up as a routine fly ball to right. But he knew he had missed a pitch to handle.
Yeah, got under one to right field.
Power to all fields. That's a heck of a play back there by Wilson.
You can see Kyle Gibson just throwing strikes to the Brewers when he has to. Brewers need to lay off that slider. They're starting to do a better job of it.
Two and 0 on Jesus Aguilar. RBI fielder's choice in the first on a ground ball to short. Three and 0.
You think he's swinging here?
I gotta imagine it's not just a green light, it's neon green. If he gets a fastball he wants.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let it fly. He's had a great year. No reason not to. VR the runner at second, Miller at first. And a 3-0 pitch. Aguilar takes a fastball. Actually a breaking ball on the outer edge.
He wasn't going to throw a fastball.
I don't think he liked that call very much either. Looked off the plate. Could have gone either way. But he gets a call on the 3-0. Now 3 and 1. 2 on, 1 out. Ball 4.
Much better job now laying off that slider.
They are loaded up for the Brewers in the 5th. And Travis Shaw coming up. Shaw does have a grand slam in his career, but he is 0 for 8 with the bases loaded this season. This would be quite the spot to hit your first home run since June 5th. And he's starting to get the bat going a little bit too. He almost hit one out his last time up. He sent Grossman to the wall and right. As important, Shaw has been driving the ball to the opposite field here lately. You start seeing that, that's when the hot streaks start to come.
Right. Now the walks, they were first. Then the opposite field hits.
No balls and a strike. Bases are loaded up. And a wave and a miss. That slider from Gibson. It's 0-2. Only grand slam of the year for the Brewers was by Ji-Man Choi, who's now with the Tampa Bay Rays. That was in Philadelphia. A base hit could tie it up. Good base runner at second base in Miller. Speed at third in VR. No balls, 2 strikes. 1-2 now.
Hadn't thrown many fastballs, has he? For strikes anyway.
He's got a good fastball too. It's hard to believe he throws it up there in the mid-90s.
Well, he keeps throwing a slider off the plate, and the Brewers are doing a better job laying off of it lately. Early they were not.
Brewers have 4 hits and a walk in this inning. They have scored twice. 1-2 pitch inside. That time he came with a fastball. He missed with it.
Yeah, he's not throwing it for strikes. Even the base hit by Miller was a fastball in off the plate.
Big spot in the game. The Brewers trying to answer quickly after falling behind 5-1. Shaw at the least trying to get one in the air to the outfield. It won't take much to score VR on a sacrifice fly. Twins look for a double play ball. 2-2 the count. Shaw just got a piece, pulls it foul. There's a little window in there for most left-handed hitters, down and in, but it's got to be in. But the danger zone, right, is if you leak it over the plate just a little bit. That's the wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's the hot zone for Shaw. Down and in.
We'll do it again. Another 2-2 pitch. And Shaw takes a fastball called strike 3. That's a big out for Gibson.
That's a pretty good pitch. That one had the edge.
Second out of the inning. Perfectly located fastball. Can't argue with that one.
No. That's that two-seam comeback pitch we were talking about, right? We were talking about that on Pizza Ranch. That comeback two-seamer. That's the one right there.
So 2 outs now. And here comes Ryan Braun. 6 career grand slams this year. He's only been up once this season with the bases loaded. Brewers need a big hit. They've scored twice. 5-3 Minnesota. He's been great in spots like this season. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Braun has 11 hits in 21 at-bats. That includes 5 of his 10 homers. Get those big home runs with 2 outs. Those crush the opposition. That's a strike.
You see Brawny up there probably looking sliders, see if he can hang one. Let the fastball go.
VR, Miller, and Aguilar on the bases. Brewers got 2 in, a homer by Pena. RBI from Miller. And Braun gets jammed, and it's bobbled over there at third, and everybody will be safe. VR is in. It's a one-run game on a ground ball that was mishandled by Astudillo.
Yeah, had a little bit of top spin on it, kind of ate him up down the line. All he had to do was catch it and step on the bag, inning over, but he booted it. It's the second hop that gets him. Kind of got caught in between, got the heel of the glove, and everybody's safe.
And here is Nate Orf now. Listen to this crowd. They're expecting a moment. Nate Orf probably thinks a streaker got on the field or something.
Yeah.
It's like, that applause is for me.
Is he old enough to know what that is?
That's for you, Nate. Talk about endearing yourself to the home crowd. A base hit here will do just that. They're loaded up. Brewers down a run. Outside, ball 2.
Nice take, didn't miss by much.
Orf in his major league debut. 0 for 2. Long inning for Kyle Gibson. Orf had a good cut. 2-1. He was right on it.
Yep, forced to throw a fastball. Put it right on the edge. Pretty good pitch.
Gibson in a 2-1 count, and Orf hooks it foul. Ow. Schenberger went through the base runner, the third base coach, and off the leg of the ball boy. 2-2 now. Orf looking for his moment. Been a day of moments for Nate Orf, starting with the call up, seeing his uniform in the big leagues for the first time, getting the start. 2-2 pitch, fouls it away.
Starting to leave that slider up a little bit is Gibson. Maybe not wanting to bounce it with the bases loaded.
He's thrown 30 pitches in the inning. Two and two. Gibson deals. Orf in the air, center field. Kepler going back at the wall. He's got it. Oh, he just missed it. Oh man, would that have been something else? It's a long, loud out. Nate Orf gave it a ride, but the Brewers do answer. After falling behind 5-1, they get 3 on the board. The Pena homer, Miller with an RBI, and then the error over at third base. And the Brewers are within a run here at Miller Park after 5.
Hammer the game winner. Hellenville Still and Grill in Hellenville. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Here we go to the 6th inning now. 5 in the books at Miller Park. It's a 5-4 game. New pitcher for Milwaukee is Taylor Williams, the hard-throwing right-hander.
A little bit of a contrast here, right? Soft throwing left-hander, hard throwing right-hander now. 293 for Williams in game number 30. I saw Williams on Saturday give up a couple of runs in an inning of work. Gave up 4 hits in that inning.
Williams against Williams with an N. Astudio. A swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Apologize to Williams. I was mispronouncing his name the first couple of times up. Astudio is how you say his last name. A ground ball to Orf. And there is out number 1.
I don't think he's going to get on you too bad. He had 2 hits when you were calling the wrong name.
He just got to the big leagues. It's my bad. I thought I had it. It's an unusual name. No excuses. Broadcaster error. 2 minutes in the penalty box. If you own anything, you own the correct pronunciation of your name.
Sometimes you get them wrong, though.
Max Kepler takes a ball.
The longer a guy's around, the easier it is to remember his name. How to pronounce it.
I remember we had a guy when I was in the minor leagues as an announcer. We had a pitcher named Luke Prokopec. He was an Australian pitcher in the Dodgers organization. There's a shot off the glove of Aguilar. Gets by Orf. Kepler with a base hit. Clean single in the right. So Luke Prokopec was pitching in the Texas League, right? And then he gets called up to the major leagues. And then I'm watching his major league debut, and Vin Scully is calling him Luke Prokopec, not Prokopec.
Right.
Call him Prokopec. And I'm like, and he had been in San Antonio a couple of years. I said, have I been pronouncing this guy's name wrong all this time? He ends up pitching a few months in the big leagues. He got sent back down, and I saw him, and I said, have I been pronouncing your name incorrectly all this time? He goes, no, I just didn't have the guts to tell Vin Scully that he had it wrong. I said, man, you're making me look bad, Luke.
I'm surprised you didn't say you called Vin and said he was pronouncing his name wrong.
Yeah, had Twitter been around by then, I would have trolled Vin Scully hard, man. I would have been on him just like all those folks are on me. Little cue shot right to Orf. Throw to first is late. Bobby Wilson breaks his bat, and the second out of the inning.
You think Vin texts?
I think Vin has people text for him. Meaning there's usually somebody next to Vin who can access the text. Yeah, Boyd, during the working years. I don't know about now.
Yeah.
I miss Vin Scully.
My guess is Vin doesn't text. I'm not thinking he does.
But Luke Prokopec had it right. If Vin Scully wants to call you Luke Prokopec, then
that's your name.
By golly, your name's Luke Prokopec.
That's right. It's a good call on his part.
That's why I like those Aussies. They think through every scenario. I love Luke Prokopec. He was a great guy. I thought he was going to be a star in the major leagues. Look him up. Gibson pinch hit for Logan Morrison off the bench, and a wave and a miss. 4-man bench for Paul Molitor tonight. He does have a big bat on that bench in Eduardo Escobar. Escobar is a regular third baseman for the Twins. And there was a costly error by Astudio at third base just a moment ago. Close the book on Gibson. 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned. Gives up 8 hits.
Brewers did a better job as the game went on, laying off the breaking pitch out of the zone and took advantage of it.
Morrison got a start yesterday at Wrigley Field. And he hits one sharply. Shift is on. Orf lays out. Throw off his knees. And it's dug out by Aguilar. Terrific play by Nate Orf. Ends the inning. Takes a hit away from Morrison. Way out there on the shift. Got a shortstop's arm. And from his knees, the long throw is in time. Manny Pena, he'll hit in this inning, and Manny Pena gave the Brewers a little light in the 5th inning. StatCast powered by AWS left the bat nearly 110 miles an hour, 416-foot line drive home run for Manny Pena. That's how the 5th inning started. The Brewers would add 2 more, and from a 5-1 deficit, they are now trailing only by a single run. It's 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. New pitcher rock is Addison Reed for the Twins.
Yeah, he's had his problems as of late. He got off to a really good start this season, but over his last 12 appearances, he's got an .874 earned run average, so he's having a difficult time getting outs.
Slings in a breaking ball for a strike.
This is the 17th career game for Addison Reed against Milwaukee.
Manny Pena hit home run number 6 in the 5th inning, last inning. Brewers brought 9 batters to the plate, scored 3 runs. The other RBI was from Brad Miller. A swing and a miss. Reed strikes him out on a breaking ball.
Addison Reed, normally that heavy sinker, the slider to go with it. Apparently the sinker's not sinking too much. Not lately. But able to get Pena on the breaking ball.
He got a 2-year deal from the Twins. High home run rate this year for Addison Reed. When sinkers don't sink, that's usually what happens. They fly out. Sweeping breaking ball to Broxton. Fans glad to see Keon Broxton back. He put up some good numbers for the Brewers the last few years, including a 2020 season last year. He's been down in AAA. Odd man out. As excited as everybody was to hear the news of the acquisitions of Kane and Yelich, it stung Keon Broxton more than anyone else, because that was his job that ultimately was given up. He goes to AAA, had success there, hit 9 homers for Colorado Springs, and finally got his chance. And did he ever have a night on Friday night? Broxton drove in 4 runs with 2 home runs. Made a couple of great catches, including a diving play in right center. He had 3 defensive gyms in Cincinnati over the weekend. And a called strike 3 right at the bottom of the zone. Broxton is rung up. And back-to-back Ks for Addison Reed in the 6th.
Yeah, Doug Eddings has been given that low strike tonight. He's been pretty consistent. Hey, enhance your next Brewers game day experience at Miller Park by downloading the MLB Ballpark app. With Ballpark, you can access and manage your tickets, plus enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, Brewers bingo, and much more. Download the Ballpark app today, free for your smartphone or tablet. Yeah, he's been consistent on the bottom of the strike zone tonight.
Well, decisions to be made here for Craig Counsell with 2 quick outs. He's going to let Williams hit. He's trying to protect some of his position players. The Brewers do have a 5-man bench, but Yelich probably not available, or if he is available, it'd be in an emergency. And Williams, how about that? A base hit. Pitchers are raking tonight on both sides.
Yeah. The 9th spot in the batting order is now 3 for 3.
First major league hit for Taylor Williams. And it was a bit of a surprise that he was even going to get an at-bat. Counsell had already used VR early. Remember, VR had a hit in the 5th. And now Williams, the relief pitcher, singles. The 9th spot in the batting order tonight for both teams is a combined 5 for 6. And Reed is done. So with the left-hander coming up and a power hitter at that, Paul Molitor will take the ball. He'll play matchup. We'll set up the new hurler after this. It out tonight, first of a 3-game series. Twins had a 5-1 lead after a grand slam by Robbie Grossman in the 5th. But the Brewers get 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Now threaten again. Taylor Rogers, the left-hander, is on the mound to face the left-handed hitting Brad Miller.
Yeah, 2 left-handers down in that Twins bullpen. Zach Duke the other. The Twins started this game with 9 pitchers in their bullpen. And Molitor can use as many, take as many changes as he wants. He's got a lot of guys down there.
At the plate, presented by Wendy's. Miller's had a good night. 2 for 3, drove in a run in the 5th. Twins have the favorable matchup. And that curveball is giving Miller fits. That was a ball, but he has buckled his knees twice as Rogers with that curve. 2 outs in the inning. Taylor Williams was allowed to hit, collected his first ever major league hit. Williams can really run, by the way. He's one of the fastest players on the Brewers team. So it would be fun if Miller can hit one in the gap to watch Taylor Williams cut it loose on the base paths. I think Miller would just prefer they both jogged around.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
2-1 the count. Fastball strike right at the top of the zone.
Yeah, he's given a low strike. He's given a high strike, and hitters aren't used to that. Normally you get one or the other.
Two now. And a high drive into right center, sounded off the end of the bat. And Kepler is there to end the inning. Just missed it. 5-4 Twins. We go to the 7th. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world.
Back at Miller Park, this interleague series between the Brewers and the Twins continues. The Twins have a 5-4 lead as we head to the 7th. And a great opportunity for fans is coming up on Saturday, August 4th. Fans at Miller Park can enter a special raffle to win the jersey off of a player's back immediately after the Cruise contest versus the Rockies. And the players will also sign the jersey before giving it to their respective winners. So the tickets are $5 each, and the proceeds will support the Aurora Healthcare Abuse Response Program. So it's a great opportunity there for fans. Again, that's Saturday, August 4th.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Here we go to the 7th inning. Dan Jennings is the new Brewer pitcher. The left-hander is on with a couple of left-handers to start this inning for Minnesota. Joe Mauer, Eddie Rosario, then Brian Dozier.
And the numbers for Jennings, 372, the earned run average for him. Last pitched on Friday at Cincinnati. An inning of work, gave up a run. And a bit of a period where he's having a difficult time locating a bit. First 24 appearances for Jennings, a 193 earned run average ever since 6.5.
Joe Mauer into center field. Back is Broxton. And Broxton leaps and makes the catch. Keon pulls another one back. Day after day, this guy's making highlight reel plays in center.
Yep, he's something. He takes a lot of pride in his ability to do that. That would have been a home run. Perfectly timed his leap. He got to the wall, jumped straight up, He knew exactly where he was. Straight up and holds it in. That would have been a home run.
What a play.
Yeah. Check it out. Yep. See ya. He pulls it back.
He had a catch in Cincinnati yesterday, crashed into the wall. Jennings just got a gift and knows it. One away in the 7th inning.
Makes it look easy, doesn't he? Just glides back there. Brewers has some pretty good center fielders.
Not just guys who can play center field either, right? Like legitimate Gold Glove caliber center fielders. Yelich has won a Gold Glove. Kane probably should have by now. And of course, Keon Broxton, as good as it gets, in that 6'3" frame, he can really scale the walls.
Yep, and they got one down at AAA.
And Brett Phillips, you're right, might have the best arm of any center fielder in baseball. Jennings gets a jam shot from Rosario. 2 outs in the inning. 2 up and 2 down. Bullpen is quiet. Jennings going to be asked to get through this 7th inning. He'll face the right-hander Brian Dozier now. Dozier drove in a run with a ground out in the 3rd. He had a single and a run scored in the 5th. That base hit he had in the 5th inning kept the inning alive for Robbie Grossman, who hit a grand slam, the next hitter of that 5th inning. Brewers have never allowed 3 grand slams in consecutive games, or a grand slam in 3 consecutive games, better stated. This is the first time in their franchise history they've done it. Last team to do it in the big leagues was the Royals. That is not a stat you want to be a part of as a pitching staff. Trying to avoid crooked numbers as a pitching staff, and those grand slams, it's hard to overcome.
Yeah, especially
4
2
spots.
outs. Especially 2 outs, right? 2 out grand slams. Reds had, or the Minnesota Twins had 2 outs, a man on, and 3 consecutive hits. One of them a salami.
Dozier takes a strike. 2 and 2 now.
Is that low strike again?
Two-two pitch. Got him. Jennings strikes him out. And a 1-2-3 inning, and Keon Broxton got the one covered. Back to the wall. Takes another home run away, this time from Joe Mauer. He's special out there. Keon Broxton with another gem at Miller Park. Tip your hat. Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Add some more apparel to your summer Brewers collection tomorrow afternoon when the first 20,000 fans at the Brewers match up with the Twins. Will take home a limited edition Brewers tank top. That's courtesy of Pick and Save. Learn more at brewers.com.
Got a great week of promotions here at Miller Park this week. 4th of July coming your way on this homestand. A lot of fun at the ballpark. Let's see if the Brewers can get back on the horse now. They trail by a run. They scored 3 runs in the 5th. Zach Duke, the former Brewer, is on the mound for Minnesota. He is one of the 2 left-handers, and Paul Molitor is going to empty him out.
Yep, that's it. Nothing but right-handers left. There's plenty of them, though.
Thames knows he just missed one.
And Zach Duke has not allowed a home run this year.
This could be a one and done here for Duke. Got a right-hander warming up. There's a sidearm curve that is in for a strike. And Duke strikes out Eric Thames for the first out of the 7th inning.
Has reinvented himself as a reliever. Put together some good years working out of the bullpen. And he'll do that to lefties. And catches the inside corner.
Zach was with the Brewers back in 2014. Had a terrific year that year. Signed a multi-year contract with the White Sox after the year he had in Milwaukee. And then the last 2 years he's been with the Cardinals. Signed to a 1-year deal by the Twins prior to this season. 2-0 to Aguilar. Molitor's going to let it ride. You got a left-hander due up next in Shaw. So this is the gamble if you're Paul Molitor. Duke against Aguilar. There's that sidearm curve in there for strike 1. Jesus is 0 for 2 with a walk. He does have an RBI. And he's going to defy the shift. Cues one into right center field, a base hit, and the tying run is on. First hit of the night for Jesus Aguilar.
I think the Twins will be all right with that. Now, based on what Aguilar's been doing throughout the year, just a little cue shot at the end of the bat, able to roll one out there in the right field. Curveball, 73 miles an hour, and nobody but Joe Mauer on the right side of the infield.
He went way out of the strike zone to put that one in play. Here's Travis Shaw now. This Brewers offense is always a lightning strike away. They can go with the best of them.
Well, this will definitely be Duke's last hitter, you would think.
Got the lefty Shaw, then a run of right-handers coming up after that. 2-0 on Shaw. Duke wanted that call. Travis was rung up on a fastball from Gibson in the 5th inning. That was with the bases loaded. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 2-1. Chopper. Mauer's got it. Throw to second, out there. And the second out of the inning. Shaw is at first on a fielder's choice. And here comes Paul Molitor, and a pitching change is on the way for the Twins. So Duke works through that 3-batter stretch of Thames and Aguilar and Shaw. Ryan Braun is coming up. He'll hit with 2 outs, and he'll face a new pitcher. Pitching change at Miller Park. Brewers down a run. Capital. It's the MLB All-Star Game. It's July 17th, only on Fox, or you can stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Ryan Braun on his way to the plate. New pitcher is Trevor Hildenberger. So Molitor plays the matchup. He's got his right-hander on the mound with 2 outs and a runner at first.
Yeah, good numbers for Hildenberger. He's got a .318 earned run average, 38th appearance. He had a long stretch of scoreless appearances. Actually had a 19-inning scoreless streak broke against the Cubs his last time out, where he gave up 5 runs. A side armor, gets a lot of ground ball outs.
And Braun pops it up on the first pitch. This is going to stay playable. And that's the inning. Mauer hauls it in. The Brewers strand a base runner, and they trail by 1 after 7. We're on our way to the 8th inning. Brought to you by Cricket Wireless. How about the last 3 days of Keon Broxton? He is making some plays. Crashed into the wall yesterday in Cincinnati. And then just a moment ago took a home run away from Joe Mauer. And Broxton right back to his spectacular defensive work in his first week back in the big leagues. Was called up last Tuesday. Dan Jennings will continue here. The switch hitter Robbie Grossman. They keep him on the right side. He hit a grand slam in the 5th, and it has held up. Twins lead 5-4, each club with 10 hits. Brewers trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss. The Twins got swept in Chicago against the Cubs over the weekend. They are on a road trip right now, a 3-city road trip. They've won once, 1-5. I don't know, you call it a 3-city road trip when their first 2 series were both in Chicago? I don't think so.
1 city, 2 teams.
First series on the south side, 2nd series on the north side, and then they made the hour-and-a-half trek up here to Milwaukee.
It's not such a bad 3-city trip, is it? Or a 3-team trip.
Not logging many miles.
No. The difference in tonight's game, unfortunately, is that RBI ground out by Dozier after he should have been called on strikes.
2-2 pitch, just missed inside.
Turning out to be a big run.
Yeah, 2 Dozier at bats have kind of flipped the game, right? The one with the missed call, that was an RBI ground out, but then his next time up, Dozier reached on a single, and then Grossman hit the grand slam the next batter. Swing and a miss. Jennings strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks for Dan Jennings. He's got an inning and a 3rd in the books.
It'd be nice to get that guy going again. Boy, he was really good in the beginning of the year. Ran into somewhat of a rough patch lately, but He's looking pretty good tonight.
Jorge Polanco, his first game back from a PED suspension. It cost him 80 games. He drops a bunt down foul. Once you get to day 60 of that 80-day suspension, you're allowed to go into a minor league scenario and essentially work your way back so that you are ready to return to the majors. So he's been down there 20 days. Been in Fort Myers a good part of that. That one's in the air to center field. Broxton will ease over on this one. And there is the second out. Looking ahead to the Milwaukee 8th, it'll be Orf, Pena, and Broxton coming up here. Dan Jennings' spot would be due up 4th. If he can give him 2 innings here, the Brewers would be set up pretty well. Hoping to take a lead and then get some of your high leverage guys on the mound. Astudillo, the free swinger, fouls that one away. Two starts, 3 games in the big leagues, 5 hits already. Did have a costly error for the Twins in the 5th inning. It led to a run. Back up the middle. Miller's got it. Throws sidearm to first in time for the out. Nice play by Brad Miller. Inning is over. 1-2-3 inning for Jennings. He retires 6 in a row. Nate Orf will lead off. We go to the home 8th.
The 8th inning, Brewers trail 5-4, and Nate Orf will head to the plate to lead off this inning for Milwaukee. We'll see if he'll end up being a hero before this one's over with. I've got the Brewers Live postgame show coming up with Rock in just moments, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Of course, we'll hear from Craig Counsell. Big grand slam opens things up early for the Twins. We'll talk about all those grand slams the last few days and get post-game reaction, get you set for game 2 coming up in just moments, BA.
All right, Craig, thanks. Nate Orf leads off in the bottom of the 8th inning. Trevor Hildenberger back on the mound. He got the last out on 1 pitch in the 7th inning. It didn't take him long to get the Orf chance going here at Miller Park.
Yeah, love it.
2-0. Orf narrowly missed a grand slam his last time up. He hit one 399.5 feet. Center fielder Kepler, with his back up against the wall, made the catch.
That would have been something.
That's how the fifth inning ended. The Brewers did score 3, but they're down 1. Orf, a shot, foul. They're guarding that line. 2-2 now for Nate Orf. Fifth inning. When it left the bat, it had the arc, had the launch, didn't quite have the mustard. No. 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Orf strikes out. They'll secure it at first, and out number 1.
Hildenberger, tough on right-handed batters. I mean, really, with the way the crossfire delivery, he sinks it. He throws that slider that goes down and away, and his delivery, you would think he wouldn't have a whole lot of tilt on it, some downward movement, but he does. Somehow he's able to get the wrist on top of the baseball and is still able to get a good break going down away from a right-hander.
Here's Manny Pena. The Twins have really struggled this year in one-run games. They are just 4-14 in one-run games. Brewers have thrived in games like this. 18-11. Down to their last 5 outs. The Brewers down a run. 1 gone in the 8th. Pena takes a ball. 2-1. Hildenberger, the setup man. Fernando Rodney, the closer. 2-2 now on Manny. Has homered tonight. One of the hardest hit balls of the year he's had. And a 5th inning missile out of here to center field. Hildenberger had a long scoreless inning streak just snapped. On Saturday, he had pushed it to 18 consecutive scoreless innings before the Cubs snapped it.
And lit him up. 5 runs.
16 of his last 17 games, he has not allowed an earned run on his line. Pitched his way into that setup role last year. That's a called strike 3. Pena shouting at Doug Eddings. It did catch a piece of the zone, it looked like, and Manny Pena is the 2nd strikeout victim for Hildenberger.
That looked like it was supposed to be away. Watch where it ends up. A lot of times you're not going to get that call, but he did. It looked like it had the plate. Well, Wilson had to reach for it.
2 outs now. 3 in a row retired by Hildenberger. And here is Keon Broxton. Back up the middle. Dozier. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Hildenberger. He retires 4 in a row. We head to the 9th inning. It's 5-4 Minnesota. rivalry between the Twins and the Brewers. Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game's got to be this one, right? Robbie Grossman with 2 outs in the 5th, a grand slam, first of his career, and it made it 5-1. The Brewers scored 3 in the bottom of the 5th, but that's been the scoring since. It's 5-4 still as we go to the 9th. Dan Jennings is back out there trying to pitch a 3rd inning now.
Only 1 and out here. We've got a left-hander, then some right-handers coming up.
Facing Max Kepler to start this 9th. Jennings has retired 6 in a row. Keon Broxton took a home run back from Joe Mauer. That's how his outing began. And he has locked down the Twins since. Got a couple of Ks. Trying to keep this one in a 1-run deficit. Heading to the bottom of the 9th. The Brewers will get to the top of their order in the bottom of the 9th. And a base hit to right by Kepler. He hung right in there and a single. And Counsell is on his way. So 2+ tonight from Jennings. It's the first hit allowed. And the Brewers will head to the bullpen, and the hard-throwing Jacob Barnes. Pitching change at Miller Park. Will take a timeout. 5-4 Minnesota.
Against the Atlanta Braves, will take home a retro Robin Yount 1970s replica jersey courtesy of Orbis Corporation. To book your seats, visit brewers.com/tickets.
Pitching change for Craig Counsell here in the 9th with a man at first. A lead single by Kepler. Jacob Barnes is in. He's got the bottom of the order coming up, 8 and 9, and then back to the top in Mauer. And Barnes, who gets a lot of ground balls when he's right, would love to get one here from the catcher Bobby Wilson.
Yeah, that cut fastball, get it down and away. Last pitch on Saturday against the Reds, got roughed up a little bit. 3 runs, an inning of work, allowed a home run in that appearance. 31st appearance overall for Barnes.
Showing bunt. Wilson takes a strike. Wilson is in a mighty struggle at the plate. Has just 9 hits all year. Mollitor's got a great weapon on his bench. He's going to use him next in Eduardo Escobar, so he is trying his best to get a runner into scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wilson is 0 for 3 tonight. There's Escobar due next.
A switch hitter.
He'll be back in there tomorrow, you figure, the rest of the series. Twins had 3 different players overcome with heat exhaustion in Chicago over the weekend. Escobar was one of them. And Rosario. The 1-1 runner goes, and it's a pop-up, foul territory. Shaw near the Twins dugout makes a catch. Well, they flipped the script. Put the hit and run on instead of the bunt. And Wilson pops up into foul grounds, 1 away.
Kepler not a guy you think about with stolen bases. Only 3 for 5. They hit and run. And Grossman not able, or I should say Wilson not able to get it on the ground.
So a dangerous hitter coming up now with Kepler at first. Eduardo Escobar. Got some big numbers across the board. His OPS right now is .859. 12 homers, 49 RBIs. Escobar and Rosario have been a dynamic duo in this Twins lineup the last couple of seasons.
Yep, 10 of his 12 home runs have come from the left side of the plate. This is his power side.
Escobar leads the league in doubles, leads the majors in doubles. 34 doubles already this year. Justin Morneau owns the Twins single season doubles record with 47. That was back in 08. Escobar is on a pace to shatter that one. He's only 13 shy. 34. He's got 48 extra base hits this season.
Wow.
2 balls, no strikes. And a broken bat. Barnes fires to second out there. And the throw gets away from Aguilar.
Shouldn't have made that throw.
Well, that goes into the dugout, and Escobar will be sent to second base.
Yeah, that's a big mistake with Mauer coming up. Of course, I guess you can pitch around Joe Mauer. Just walk him, I guess. Needless throw, ends up in the dugout. Escobar gets second, but here comes Joe Mauer. I think they're going to walk him. They got to walk him here. No chance to get him.
Ill-advised throw from Miller. E6 will put a runner in scoring position, an insurance run. Counsell
going after him,
thinking it through. He's got his big velocity pitcher on the mound. He's not completely comfortable with the decision.
I thought I saw him put up 4 fingers and then maybe just pulled him back.
Now then you got to deal with Rosario next.
Rosario having a rough day at the plate.
It's 2018 version, I'm guessing, because there was a day you wouldn't dare pitch to Joe Mauer in a spot like this. He's had a home run taken away. He hit a bullet to center field. Broxton made a nice catch on. And then he had a double off the center field wall. He's had a great night at the plate as far as exit velocity would go, but only 1 hit. He's found the barrel often, let's put it that way.
Right. He must have changed his mind, because I thought I saw him go 4 fingers. This is a roll of the dice. Of course, Rosario's no day at the beach.
Mauer's only been intentionally walked once this season. A sign of the times. It's a big runner to leave stranded at second as Mauer takes a ball high. 2-1.
These are the decisions that, if they don't work out, keep managers up at night.
He has hurt the Brewers badly over the years. A career .332 hitter against Milwaukee. And it's 2-2. Good pitch by Barnes. He threw in that little slider down and in, and Mauer fouls it off.
He's grinding over this at bat. Great counsel. Gutsy move.
Two to Mauer. 5-4 Twins lead. Runner at second and a bouncing ball. Miller gets a nice hop and he dropped the ball. And now he's got a runner in a rundown. Escobar between third and home, and Miller flip it to Pena. Pena gives it up. Shaw trying to catch him and does, and the inning is over. And the Brewers are extremely fortunate. Miller having a rough go defensively, but the Brewers come out of it unscathed. Monday night at Miller Park. Headed to the bottom of the ninth inning. 5-4. Minnesota has the lead. And the number 9 hitter coming up. Don't forget to the next Fox Sports Wisconsin telecast will be on Wednesday, the 4th of July. Miller Lite What's on Tap with Berrios and Chase Anderson matching up. That'll be a good one. We'll be back with you Wednesday afternoon, 2:30 airtime, 3:10 first pitch. Changes for both managers. Eric Sogard's going to pinch hit. Hitting in the 9 spot in the order, then the top of the order. Fernando Rodney, the Twins closer, is on. Escobar will remain in the game to play third. 17 saves for Rodney. His first pitch is a strike.
He started out pretty slow, but he's been on a roll as of late as Escobar takes over at third. Tighten up the defense.
Escobar giving the Brewers a gift. Miller dropped that ball. That was scored as an error, by the way. So Miller with 2 errors in the 9th inning, but the Twins do not score. Escobar just kept on running. And fortunate for the Brewers, they were able to get the final out. Right back up the middle, right between the legs. And Polanco makes a play for the out. Sogard retired. 1 away.
And right off the end of the bat, he's got a terrific changeup. And that's when he threw to Sogard for the out.
So Brad Miller now with 1 out. Brewers still trailing by a run. They've not been able to push across. They scored 3 in the 5th, had the bases loaded. Nate Orf hit a long fly ball that was caught at the wall in center field. And that has been the last of the scoring. Miller had a 9th inning home run against Kansas City, and he slaps that one into left field, a base hit. So Brad Miller keeps on hitting, his 3rd hit of the game. And the tying run is on. The potential winning run will come to the plate now in the 9th.
And the Brewers have some thump coming up. Fernando Rodney typically doesn't give up a whole lot of homers. He's only given them 3 this year.
The Brewers have 3 walk-off home runs this season. Braun and Jesus Aguilar twice. Eric Thames, the batter. And into center field. They're playing deep. That's going to fall. A base hit for Thames. Back-to-back singles. Tying run at second, winning run at first now.
And another changeup. Had him out in front, but able to muscle it out there into center field. And pretty good, decent speed at second. Yep, right off the end of the bat, but he keeps it in the hitting zone long enough. And able to dump the changeup into center field.
Well, the stage is set. Miller and Thames with hits. Jesus Aguilar coming up. He has been the Brewers' best. And he has been clutch this year as well. 10 of his 19 home runs this year have either tied or given the Brewers the lead. 2 on, 1 out. Aguilar takes a fastball strike.
That ball was down that time. Yeah, he's been calling that low strike all night.
Twins outfield is very deep. This one, a fastball underneath the K zone. Same spot. Got the benefit of the call this time. Rodney's blown 4 saves this year. Brewers would like to hang one more on him. In the dirt. 2-1. Brewers led this game 1-0. Twins tied it in the 3rd. Went ahead on a grand slam by Grossman in the 5th. Brewers got 3 in the bottom of the 5th. That's where we sit. 5-4. Miller the tying run at second. Aguilar fouls it away, was late.
94, not too bad for Rodney. Velocity up a little bit from the beginning of the season.
He's had an amazing career. Hasn't been a closer very long. It took him a little while to get into that closer's role. He was in his late 30s. 2-2 the count. And that's up the middle, a base hit. Miller around third. He's going to hold there. He had to freeze on the line drive. Kepler's throw is way off the mark.
Man,
they are loaded up with 1 out for Shaw. 3 consecutive singles for the Brewers.
Hey, Brad Miller, boy, he really froze a long time. Not sure if he thought maybe the ball was going to be snared by Rodney or what. Another changeup. Look at it, right down the middle, up in the zone, and that's a nice swing for Aguilar. Drives it back through the middle. Watch how long it takes Miller to get going. I guess he wasn't sure about the shift, where the infielders were. I guess that's a smart move.
Tying run 90 feet away. The Brewers load him up. Second time in this game they've had him loaded. Here's Travis Shaw. Had him way out in front of the change.
That went down. Change up very effective down in the zone, not so much up in the zone.
Rodney has given up 3 consecutive hits. Tying run at third, winning run at second. Shaw takes it low, went right back to it. Shaw's only faced Rodney twice. He's 1 out of 2 off of him. One ball, 1 strike. Rodney deals. Shaw fouls it away. He's late on the fastball.
A good one to hit. That's his hot zone. Down.
1-2 the countdown. Shaw was a part of a walk-off earlier this year against the Mets. Remember when he walked with the bases loaded back in late May? Milwaukee has 5 walk-off moments this year. Hoping for number 6. 1-2 the count. Outside and high. 2-2. Miller started it with a 1-out single. Thames had a hit. Aguilar a single. Two pitch.
Yeah, best fastball he's thrown, 97 that time. You see Shaw a little bit behind the fastball because he's protecting against that changeup. Back of his mind, he's thinking it's coming.
Another 2-2. Shaw in the air, center field. This should be deep enough. All runners will tag. Throw comes to second, and it's through, and Miller scores. All tied up. Travis Shaw with a sacrifice fly.
Well done with 2 strikes. Well, blown save for Fernando Rodney. Hadn't done a whole lot of that lately. Good job by Shaw just protecting the plate and lifting it deep enough to tie it up.
Thames able to advance. Aguilar had to stop it first as that throw was on a line through the bag at second. And now that brings in the wild pitch. Pass ball. An error. Ryan Braun trying to end it the old-fashioned way.
If you're Eric Thames, I mean, Rodney likes to throw that changeup. You get one in the dirt. Got to get that big lead.
They're going to give him a little room too. Playing deep at third base is Escobar. Ryan Braun in a big spot. Chance to win it. 5-5 game. Braun takes a ball down and away.
Are you surprised you're not walking Braun? You got Orf on deck.
Totally. A game when Joe Mauer and Ryan Braun are not intentionally walked.
I mean, you know, Aguilar's run doesn't mean anything. I mean, you're facing the former MVP. You got the rookie on deck.
I'm right with you, partner. Braun shatters his bat. Rodney recovers, and we're going to extra innings. They challenge Braun, and Braun grounds out. But the Brewers tie it up. Travis Shaw with a sacrifice fly. All tied at 5 as we go to the 10th. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of Extra Innings. We go to the 10th at Miller Park, Milwaukee. It's been a good game tonight. The Brewers have had some big chances, but they've scored just enough. They have covered a 5-1 deficit, and they've come back to tie it at 5 to send us to the 10th inning. And the Brewers will send their closer out. Knebel will try to get the ball club to the bottom of the 10th, still tied at 5.
Yeah, picked up save number 8 on the season on Thursday against Cincinnati. He's given up 1 run last 9 appearances. That covers 8 in the 3rd innings.
First man up, Eddie Rosario. Fouls off an opening curve.
Interesting how, you know, the game has changed, and, you know, kind of a changing of the guard, right? I mean, you pitch to Mauer, you know, first base open in the top of the inning. You pitch to Braun, and it worked out for both.
Yeah, both moves paid off. There's a curveball in for a strike. And with 2 strikes now, the Brewers swap infielders on the shift. Shaw goes over there on the right side. No balls, 2 strikes. And look out, man, Rosario can take some hacks.
Almost like he's swinging so the ball wouldn't hit him.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a hit and run swing back in the old days. You know, when a slow runner would take off at first and you had to make contact. You just don't see that anymore.
Right.
He struck out on a pitch at eye level earlier in this game.
Talk about a guy hitting .313. I mean, this guy's a good hitter. He's taking some really crazy looking hacks tonight.
Well, that's why you call him a bad ball hitter.
Right.
He's like Yogi Berra. Paul LaDuca was that way. He'd swing at everything.
Yeah. Vladimir Guerrero, remember him?
For sure. He'd hit a few on the bounce every now and then.
Yeah.
The 0-2 from Knebel. He did not bite on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brewers get a run on a Travis Shaw sac fly to tie it in the 9th. I'll say this for Rosario: there are very few hitters on the planet that can foul off an up and in 98-mile-an-hour fastball. But he just did. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And he got him. Oh no, he fouled it off. I beg your pardon. Just got a piece. You see where that pitch was?
Yeah.
I think it might have hit him on. If he hadn't fouled it off, it might have hit him in the foot.
There's that knuckle curve.
Oh, that hurts.
Right on the inside of the foot.
Ouch. Wasn't going to hit him.
But it did.
Yeah, right in the arch. Going to need a little attention here.
Look how far inside that pitch is. That thing was a foot inside.
Trying to walk it off. Resuming with a 1-2 count. That's a contact.
Back foot off the ground when he's swinging.
He's a scary hitter, though. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. And he finally strikes him out. That was a great curve by Knebel. And Rosario just twists himself into a strikeout.
Seemed like he took a little bit off that curveball that time, and he had him out in front. .81
mile-an-hour Uncle Charlie.
Yep.
And the first out of the inning. Here is Brian Dozier. Knebel's got a good curveball going tonight. Knebel has his high school coach in the ballpark tonight, Danny Wallace, and his family. Chopper, shift was on, and Orf will make the play for the out. 2 outs in the inning. Good to see Corey giving back, providing tickets and guest passes to his high school coach. He's still very close with his high school coach, Georgetown High School, and then went on to play at the University of Texas.
High quality guy, Corey Knebel. I'll never forget where he came from.
Had a chance to meet Coach Wallace and his family, 2 boys and 2 girls, and they're enjoying the experience of being in a major league stadium. Fastball right by Grossman. 97-mile-an-hour heat from Knebel. No balls and a strike. Grossman hit the grand slam in the 5th. The Brewers have covered it. There's a strike. 0-2 the count.
Throw another one up there.
The 0-2 is swung on and missed. He did throw another one up there. And he got the K. 3 up, 3 down, 2 Ks. Guess who's leading off, Rock? Orf. Lead off this 10th inning. This is his major league debut. He is hitless tonight, but he narrowly missed a grand slam in the 5th inning. Missed it by about a foot. And wouldn't this be the perfect ending to the script for Nate Orf, undrafted free agent, plowing his way through the Brewers system, finally gets his chance. He'll lead off. The new Minnesota pitcher, Zach Littell, is on the mound.
He got called up before tonight's game, making his 2nd stint with the Twins this year. He was a starter down in AAA. He got called up for the first time on June 5th, got sent down and back tonight.
First pitch to Orf. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Twins have a couple of changes too. They have Kepler moving to right field. Jake Cave is in to play center. And a swinging strike, unable to check it. It's 0-2. Did he go?
I don't know.
I don't think so. 0-2 pitch, and he hit it.
Nice justice.
The winning run is on. An 0-2 hit by pitch.
Yeah, breaking pitch. Got away from him and hit him right on the pad, the elbow pad. That's a gift.
Carries the winning run. Manny Pena at the plate. He's homered tonight. Launched one out of here in the 5th. Shows bunt early and takes a ball.
Well, you want to bunt it toward first. Escobar right on top of Pena as that ball gets to home plate.
Manny squares again. Bunts it foul. He was trying to get it to first base.
You got Joe Mauer holding the runner. Is going to take him. Going to have to get a late break to cover the bunt.
Brewers have just 2 sacrifice bunts from position players this year. Travis Shaw and Eric Sogard. Counsell doesn't ask his position players to do it often. No manager does these days. But the situation calls for it now. Orf leading off first. Pena squares early. And he gets the bunt down foul. 1-2 now on Manny Pena.
And they practice bunting every single day in batting practice. But this isn't batting practice.
Now, do you let him swing or do you ask him to bunt with 2 strikes?
He really hadn't proven the ability to get it down. Let him swing.
See what he does. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's squaring. And he takes. Good block back there by Wilson. That keeps Orf at first.
A lot of breaking pitches from Littell.
Two and 2 to Manny Pena. Not bunting. Fouls it away. Brewers with a great comeback tonight, down 5-1. Travis Shaw with a sac fly, tied it in the 9th. Winning run at first and a check on Orf. Orf can really run. He had 20 stolen bases at AAA this year. And Manny lays off.
Well, send him here, 3-2, right? Why not? Stay out of double play. Well, you figure Littell's going to throw a breaking pitch. That's pretty much all he's thrown.
Would be a good pitch to run on. It would be tough to throw him out. Full count. And Orf, oh, close. He was leaning. That was a close play at first. Twins are out of challenges, remember.
Yeah, he was creeping. Able to get back.
If that throw was down toward the bag, they might have had him. There he goes. And a foul ball on a half swing. Manny Pena trying to finish this one off tonight. He's got plenty of pop. Twins outfielders are deep in center and in left. But Kepler is shallow in right.
That opens up that gap out there in right center. I mean, you just have one of those guys shallow.
Manny's got some thump to the opposite field. Full count. Orf goes. Pena lines one to left, a base hit. Orf will hold his ground. Snap throw to second. He is just back. A risky throw by Rosario. But now the Brewers are set up. Pena's base hit makes it first and second with nobody out.
And now he asks Broxton to drop down a bunt. Fastball down the middle, and Manny on the 3-2 pitch, after failing to drop down a bunt, able to whistle one into left field. There you go.
All right, so play manager for us here, Rod. What are the what goes into this decision if you're Craig Counsell?
Well, you got you got where you're at in the batting order. You got Hernan Perez, who's on deck, then the top of the order. I mean, you bunt with a man at first and nobody out. I guess you bunt with men at first and second and nobody out, although both corner infielders are going to be able to crash this time, making the possibility of a successful bunt a little bit more difficult.
See what Broxton does. Winning run at second base. Keon squares, bunts it foul.
Got to get him down. It's interesting that Joe Mauer's playing back. He's about even with the bag. Really not crashing, which means I guess the pitcher is going to be covering the line, and you're going to have Escobar crashing at third. Creeping in now is Joe Mauer.
Broxton has 2 career sacrifice bunts in the big leagues. Squares again in the air. That is foul, and it's 0-2 on Broxton.
And you wonder why. You know, fans ask why managers don't put bunts on. You're seeing why right now. Guy just can't get him down for some reason.
There is the adage as well that you take 3 shots at winning the game with base hits once you have a runner in scoring position.
You see the frustration on the face of Counsell trying to get the bunt down. Can't do it.
He normally doesn't call for the bunt, but he's asking for it tonight. Let's see if he does it with 2 strikes. Broxton not bunting, and a fastball high. That was close. 1 ball, 2 strikes account.
So when you sit and watch a game and you see situations like this and managers don't put the bunt on, you're seeing why. So now really Broxton has only 1 strike to play with.
Holding Orf on at second. He's got a short lead. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2-2 now. Outfielders have to play in a position where they can throw a runner out, so they've got to know their arms.
Yeah, good speed at second.
All 3 throw it well for the Twins in the outfield.
Pretty shallow out there.
Puts a lot of heat on the third base coach as well. He knows who has the strong arms, where the accurate throwers are. 2-2 to Broxton in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I don't think you run here. You got a guy at the plate. Tendency is he'll strike out. Susceptible to the strikeout, I should say. Last thing you need is to strike him out, throw him out.
Broxton, he's been in the big leagues a week. Chance to win the game. 3-2 the count. Outside, ball 4.
That's a great at bat too. How about that? Not able to get bunts down twice. Pena with a hit, Broxton with a walk, and I think Paul Molitor wants to improvise on the defense.
He's got a glove. He's bringing a glove out with him, which means, like a lot of managers, you'd have a 5-man infield. That was interesting. Littell giving the ball to Molitor.
He thought he was out.
I think he just told him to take a deep breath. We're all right here.
He thought he was out. There was really nobody loosening in the bullpen. He's not going anywhere. This is your inning, kid.
That's got to be an uncomfortable feeling for a manager. The pitcher's giving him the ball.
Yeah, he wants to get out.
Molitor just bringing his group together to get into a 5-man infield. It's a pretty common play, especially with nobody out. So Littell, who is ready to hit the exit, is still in there, and he'll face Hernan Perez. Pinch hitter. Perez a chance to give the Brewers their 6th walk-off of the year. Bases loaded, nobody out. Only one that matters at third. Five infielders, 2 outfielders.
And the outfielder is very shallow. And good speed at third base.
Rosario's the infielder has come into play the infield. Orf carries the winning run. It was hit by an 0-2 pitch. Pena had a single with 2 strikes. Broxton was down 0-2. He walked. One ball, 1 strike on Perez. 2-1. Facing steep odds right here, Littell. And this crowd of nearly 32,000 ready to roar. 2-1. 2-2 now.
Fastball up in the zone. He's topped that at around 90 is all. A lot of breaking pitches.
Orf will be ready to run on a wild pitch. Good catcher back there in Wilson. Well, the Brewers have worked some magic with 2 strikes in this inning. Let's see if Perez can deliver. The 2-2 on the ground. Coming home is Orf. The throw is caught, and the toe on the plate. What a play by Bobby Wilson. Man, that was a big league play by the catcher with full gear on. Somehow able to keep a toe on the plate for the out.
No kidding. What a horrible throw. That wasn't even close, and he made a miraculous effort, to get the out. Yeah, breaking pitch. Perez rolls over on it, and check out this throw. How bad can that be? Yep, foot's on the bag, or foot's on the plate for the out. There it is, clearly.
Can't tell you how great that is, right?
Yep.
With a catcher's mitt.
I mean, you're standing there waiting for a throw to be thinking about a throw to first on a double play.
Right.
A lot of times the guy's not going to be ready for a bad throw like that.
Here is Brad Miller now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Miller has 3 hits tonight. Drove in a run in the 5th. Trying to give the Brewers a walk-off win. One of the issues the Brewers have right now is Manny Pena, the runner at third, is a slow runner. And
Doug Eddings upset with Polanco out there. Who is that out there at second? That's the outfielder, right? Rosario.
Polanco is. That's right. Rosario on the right side.
Right.
The 5 infielders. And it's ball 3. You could get Brad Miller a plastic bat right now. There is no chance he's going to swing. Pressure is on Littell. 3-0 the count. It's ball 4, and it's the ball game. It's a walk-off walk. The 6th walk-off of the year. The Brewers win. They come back and beat the Twins tonight. Take them how you can get them. And Miller's 2nd RBI of the game. The easy way is a game winner. Down 5-1, Rock. The Brewers snatch this one back.
Yeah, amazing way they were able to come back. They got some help from the Twins. But Brad Miller, the big star tonight, 3 hits, a couple of RBIs, the big walk with the bases loaded here in the 10th. That was just a good team effort, a good win by the Brewers here tonight.
Brad Miller, a newcomer to the ball club, acquired from the Rays, steps into the spotlight here tonight and delivers. As we send it down to Sophia Minard with Brad Miller.
Thanks, B.A. And Brad, you were just saying you have one other walk-off in your career, and it also happened to be a walk. What's the secret here for you in those situations?
I just don't swing. That's the secret. No, just trying to battle, trying to finish it off. Guys got a great rally going, put me in a good position, and I'm glad we won that one.
Well, after the Grand Slam, you were down 4 runs, and you singled as a part of that rally. Just how much did this team just continue to persevere through this game, even despite the deficit?
100%. We've been doing that, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously early that was a big blow, but we stayed in it. Our pitchers kept us right there, and we were able to chip away.
And talk about Keon Broxton at one point in this game robbed a home run to keep it a 1-run game. How did that end up being a key play here?
Just a stud. I mean, he's been running around out there making a ton of plays. Obviously had the 2-homer game in Cincinnati, but yeah, it brings a lot of energy, and that was huge. Yeah, that was a huge play right there.
All right, thanks, Brad, for your time. 2nd career walk-off walk for Brad Miller. Also has 3 hits on the night. Big night, Craig. Their 6th walk-off win of the season here.
Okay, Sophia, thanks very much. Hey, it's Miller time. Brewers win it on the walk-off. Had to get that one in, you know that. Big win tonight for Milwaukee. We'll review the entire game. More post-game reaction. Hearing from Craig Counsell gets you set for Game 2 for your first place Milwaukee Brewers. Another walk-off walk this season. Stay with us.